Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is story about what if Naruto was reincarnated as Hinata Hyuga part 1. Before I start, please do support for more amazing content and comments for part 2. Do consider to subscribe my channel and share my video to your friends and check out the description as well. Let's start the video. I always imagined myself dying an honorable death, probably from watching too much anime. Jumping in front of a bullet to save a friend, getting stabbed in the stomach just as I give the burglar that broke into my parents' house a finishing blow, pushing my younger sister out of the road as the speeding car hits me instead of her. You know, something along those lines. However, my actual death was far from that. In fact, my death was so boring that it pisses me off. I died in my sleep after a long night of watching Naruto. Seriously, how uncreative was that? I literally just laid down in bed, closed my eyes, and then died a few hours later. After 21 years of living a pretty simple life, it would just make sense if I could be memorable for once and go out with a bang. But no, that didn't happen. Instead, I am finding myself lying horizontally in complete darkness. Wherever I am at right now is very cramped and wet. Like, I am literally floating in some sort of liquid and my body is curled up into a ball from the lack of space. To be honest, I have no clue where I am at right now. I always thought that I would either go to heaven or hell after I died. When I was alive, I was a Christian, but not a very good one. I didn't go to church and I really never read the Bible before. Judging that part of my life alone, some would say that I was on the path to hell. But I'm a good person. I lived my life having decent morals and was never mean to anyone. I gave food and money to the homeless. I picked up litter. I treated my parents and siblings with respect. I made good grades, got a job, and went to college. I never stole. I never killed anyone. I never any sex before marriage. I actually died a virgin. Oh my God! Ignoring that. I did lie and curse a lot though. I don't know why I did, but both came natural to me and I am pretty good when it comes to my lying skills. Overall, in my opinion, I should be partying it up with Jesus right now in heaven, but I am not in either heaven or hell and I am really beginning to not like where I am at right now. I do not like hanging out in dark, tight spaces because I am a very claustrophobic person. So when I saw a glimmer of light rushing towards me, I became excited. I feel the liquid I am trapped in shake around as my body is being pulled closer to the light. At least I am going to heaven now. I guess the process from dying and going to the afterlife takes a few minutes, or whatever the concept of time in this place is. I really am going to miss my parents, siblings, friends, and family, but I can just watch over them until it is their time one day. I close my eyes and tense up my body as I pass through the light, expecting to be laying on a cloud in front of some large golden gates. I open my eyes and frown. While I cannot exactly see anything, I can make out that I am not chilling in the dark anymore. I can barely make out light and silhouettes, but I do not have a clue as to where I am at. I hear someone, or something, speaking in a language that I have no knowledge of, sounds a mixture of crying and squeals, and I am being lifted through the air. Am I flying? I can see light. Am I on my way to heaven now? Are these angels, or perhaps even God, talking right now? I hope they teach me how to understand them or at least give me by my eyesight soon. Being blind is not fun. Everything else around me is blurry. I tried to lift my head up, but I couldn't move. What is going on? Suddenly, exhaustion overwhelms me from just attempting to lift my head and before I knew it I am back into the darkness. I wake up again sometime later, not knowing how the concept of time works at wherever I am at. And I feel something soft and fuzzy wrap around my body and I am soaring through the air again before I land. Something that feels like hands caresses my face and I am being pulled into a tight embrace. What the heck is going on? If I am in heaven right now, shouldn't God be introducing himself to me or having an angel show me around, or at least give me the gift to see? Something tells me I am not in heaven or hell. I feel alive, but that is impossible. I know I died. I just know it. Panic begins to bubble up in my chest as my instincts tell me to scream. So I did. My scream comes out as a shrill wail and I feel tears forming in my eyes and falling out. What I have never screamed like that before. The realization frightens me and causes me to wail even louder. I hear a high-pitched foreign voice speak towards me, at least I think, and I feel my chest make contact with another warm body as something gently pats my back. I am being comforted. Who is comforting me? Exhaustion hits me again like a ton of bricks and I fall back asleep once more. This goes on for a long period of time until one day I am finally able to make out my surroundings. I am in a beige room looking into a pair of featureless large white eyes with a hint of lavender in them. The fair-skinned woman that is staring back at me has long, dark blue hair with side bangs framing her face. She seems really exhausted and worn out as sweat was breaking from her forehead and heavy bags were formed underneath her eyes. She looks like she hasn't slept in weeks. Despite her current state, she gives me the sweetest smile and speaks to me in a language that I cannot understand. Even though I cannot understand, I know she is speaking in Japanese. Another perk from all those years of watching anime. Still, why and who is this woman holding me and where the hell am I at? Suddenly, I feel something grab a hold of me and I scream in surprise as I am being lifted in the air. I have felt myself soaring through the air many times already, and for a while I had convinced myself I was flying with angels. Seeing for myself actually flying through the air without impaired vision for the first time is a sickening feeling. I feel like puking. As the nausea goes away, I realize that I am being swaddled in a lilac blanket, and whatever is carrying me right now spins me around and I am staring into another pair of white eyes, except these didn't have any traces of lavender in them. The beige-skinned man I am looking at has long, brown hair with a receding hairline. I notice he is giving me more of a prideful smirk instead of a warm smile like the woman had on her face. Damn, these are some weird-looking giants. Why are they passing me around as if I were a fragile baby? Wait a minute. I stare hard at the person holding me and I figure out who he is and finally realize where I am at. I am staring into the eyes of Heishi Hyuga, and that means I have either been reincarnated into Hinata or Hanabi Hyuga's infant body from the Naruto universe. What? No way. Are you freaking serious? This cannot be real right now. I am not a baby. I can't be. I'm supposed to be dead and in heaven. I have to be dreaming. Panic grows in my chest as I shook with anxiety. Not being able to control the wild emotions that were overwhelming me at the moment in this tiny body, I did what all babies do best. I begin to cry. Tears stream down my cheeks as I feel my face grow red and hot. Hayashi's brow narrow and he frowns, saying something before handing me back to the woman. The woman looks at Hayashi and laughs as she begins to lightly rock me and beautifully sings what I assume is a lullaby. I stop crying for a moment to reflect on my situation. Judging from Hayashi's reaction of my crying and not knowing how to handle it, I am going to assume at the moment that I am in Hinata's body. I am also judging this theory from the fact that her mother is healthy and alive as she is holding me and attempting to put me to sleep. It has never been shown in the manga or anime, but many fans have said that Hinata's mother died giving birth to Hanabi, so I am just rolling with that for now. Even if I am reincarnated, why the hell am I in the Naruto universe? Shouldn't I have been reincarnated into an infant on Earth? That would have made more sense. But since when do reincarnated people remember their past lives? I can clearly remember everything from my past life, my family, friends, college, work, everything. Do all reincarnated babies remember their past life and then just slowly lose those memories over time? When I was alive in my world, I read my share of articles on children who claim they can remember bits and pieces from a past life. This has to have something to do with watching Naruto before I died. When I was asleep, did my soul get sucked into the anime? Nah, that is just crazy. I know I am not dreaming because, well, it is hard to explain. I have this feeling that I know I died. It is weird. Whatever happened is done and over with. I am, possibly, stuck in Hinata Hyuga's body and I am going to have to force myself to accept that and live her life now, which wouldn't be so bad if she didn't have a sucky one for the first 15 years of it. Her father treated her bad, she had very low self-esteem and a lot of confidence issues, Niji bullied her and almost killed her ass, and the list goes on. On the bright side, Hinata is my favorite character in Naruto, and if I have to be reborn in anyone's body, I am glad it was hers. But just because I am obsessed with Naruto doesn't mean I want to live in it. I know many shitty things happen and I will not start to name them because I will just have another panic attack and scare everyone again. I need to take this in baby steps, literally and metaphorically, by focusing on my life first. I need to grow up and not act as meek as the original Hinata. I just need to mix in my own personality with hers so I can fit in with the rest of the Hyugas, because Hinata wasn't only just timid. She was kind, caring, and put others' needs before her, and I can play that role easily. Ugh, I guess I am receiving that exciting moment that I have been craving for. Why couldn't I have just opened my eyes to those golden gates? The first few months of my new life took some time for me to get used to. You know, it isn't easy getting adjusted to a new life when you just spent 21 years living your old one. I went through a phase of depression and anxiety. Anxiety because here I am alive in another realm while my parents and sister are alive in a totally different realm, world, universe, whatever it is called. Anxiety because I know that I will never be able to see them again. That is when the depression crept in the more I thought about them and my past life. Being dead would have been a totally different experience for me. I would be happy and free and will be able to watch down on my family from above. I will at least not be able to worry about them. Now, I am going batshit crazy thinking about them. How are they handling my death? What would think they if they knew that I was actually trapped in a different body in a dangerous universe? My depression caused me to become more of a silent and unhappy baby, which greatly worried Hinata's parents. But I didn't care. I didn't consider them my parents. They are nothing but characters out of an anime who I just so happen had the misfortune of being their daughter. After a while, I slowly adjusted to my new life. Though I miss my old life like crazy, I have been slowly coming to the reality that this is my new life now and there is nothing I can do to change it. No matter how many times I cried or begged or prayed. Nothing has changed so far and it never will. This is my new life now until I die and find myself within another body in a different universe or officially in heaven. So, without really having any other choice, I got my act together and started playing the role of the Byakugan princess. I have realized two things over these past few months since I have decided to accept my new life. 1. I hate being a baby. It is the most boring thing I think I have experienced. Most my days was spent laying in a crib, staring at the ceiling, unless I was being fed, played with, loved on, or shown off. These past few weeks have been a little bit more interesting for me. I have began to understand the words that was being spoken to me, such as Hinata-chan, Oka-san, and Ota-san, though I couldn't say them back just yet to my annoyance. Since I am an adult stuck in a baby's mind, I thought I would be able to easily speak back to them. For some reason, I am able to understand the Japanese language just as well as English. But the inability to be able to speak back from being a baby limits me, and it is just so frustrating. At least I get some excitement out of Hayashi when I attempt to mimic his words in my baby gibberish to show that I understand what he was saying and can tell he is proud of me. Maybe I am on the right path to give Hinata, I mean myself, a better life since I am showing progress so quickly. It is going to take me a while before I see myself as Hinata and Hayashi as my father. I think I can grow a close relationship with him if I can meet the expectations he is going to have for me in a couple of years. The woman, on the other hand, who I learned that her name is Haruna, is someone that I instantly connected with. She reminds me so much of my mother from my past life, so that helped ease my anxiety and depression, and she's the one that I spent most of my time around. She is a very affectionate, kind, and patient woman who has taken care of all my needs at any time during the day and all through many nights. Many of these needs consist of me being sick, which brings me to the second thing that I realized. I understand why Hinata acted so weak and feeble. I am always sick and nobody can diagnose me with anything. When I swallow something, sometimes I puke it back up. I am underdeveloped physically for my age. I was born 3 months early and I am still considered underweight. My muscles are very weak, so I have a hard time grasping things such as a rattle or supporting a bottle between my hands. Being born in the winter season didn't help my case, as I was always catching a cold. To me, it seems like whatever illness I have goes away as I grow older, since Hinata never shown any signs of sickness in the anime or manga. She was really short and skinny, so that's why she wore baggy clothes as a child, because she didn't feel comfortable in her body. I think that is also why she struggled with training the gentle fists, because she grew tired easily, clumsy, and wasn't up to par in the strength department due to the effects of this illness. My goal is to overcome all of these obstacles early on in life so I don't get branded as a failure in Hayashi's eyes. If I am going to be living Hinata's life, I want to enjoy it and not be miserable. Even though everyone knows I am not going to be walking at the average age like every other baby in Konohagakure, I have the advantage of being able to speak before them. Whenever I was alone in my crib, I would practice and whisper words out loud until I got them down pat. At only 8 months old, I surprised everyone day as I succeeded in babbling some words out of my mouth. Oka-san? Oka-san. 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 When I realized that I could speak, I grew very happy and shouted the word over and over again. I was sitting in the high chair while Haruna was preparing lunch for me and Hayashi as he was doing some paperwork at the kitchen table. When they both heard me speak, they instantly jerked their heads towards me with mouths agape. Did our daughter just talk? Hayashi asks his wife in amazement. As she did, she replies, rushing over to me. Hinata-chan. Sweetie, can you speak for Oka-san and Ota-san again? I nod my head. Oka-san, she can talk. Haruna cheers, clasping her hands together. She looks over at her husband. It appears that I have won our bet. She said my name first. Damn that he gets defeated. Hayashi makes his way over to me. Come on, you know that you want to say Ota-san for me. Oh, I know I can, Hayashi. However, it is more fun to watch the head of the Hyuga clan beg and dance around like a circus monkey. I shook my head and shriek, Oka-san. Haruna almost falls to the floor from laughing so hard as Hayashi's face grows red in embarrassment and sighs. He leans in and whispers in my ear. Hey, do not make me come across as a fool to your mother. Cut me some slack for your old man. Even though he is strict and stern by nature, Hayashi becomes a little softer when it comes to his wife and daughter. I decide to give him the benefit of the doubt and stop torturing the poor guy. Ota-san. Hayashi's face lit up at the sound of his paternal name as he ruffles my small patch of dark blue hair. That's my little girl, he tells me. I guess we are even now, Haruna teases as she comes up by Hayashi's side and wraps her arms around his waist. Hayashi kisses the top of her head. I cannot believe Hinata-chan is already saying mother and father at such a young age and can understand at times what we are saying to her, he brags. She is going to be a genius when she's older. Nah, that title is going to be given to Niji. Sorry. Though, it is kind of strange to hear Hayashi praising Hinata on me. She is going to make a fine leader to this clan one day, Haruna says as they both stare at me with doting eyes. A light bulb went off in my head as soon as she said that. I know what I want to do during this lifetime. I want to become the leader of the corrupt Hyuga clan. I need to become the leader. Mentioning Niji a moment ago, I can have him help me run the clan to nullify the main house and branch house. We can rebirth the clan and all come together as one house and get rid of that monstrous cursed seal for good. As he gets older, Niji is going to experience the death of his father and learn the ins and outs of the two houses and how truly shitty the Hyuga clan really is. I need to somehow befriend him when he is young, possibly before the death of his father. That way, hopefully, he isn't going to hold a grudge against me and hate me. Another choice is to stop his father's death, but no one will want to hear a toddler's wild imagination knowing my luck. Danzo or Orochimaru will somehow get their evil hands on me if I get branded as someone who can foresee the future. So, I need to keep all my knowledge to myself. The first baby steps I need to take to become the future head of the Hyuga clan is to start training as soon as possible. I need to turn around my disadvantages and improve in areas such as strength and stamina. I need to start teaching myself how to walk and forcing myself to not become physically delayed and allow for those medical needs to be right. As soon as I learn to walk, I need to toddle around all the time to build up stamina in my lungs and strength in my leg muscle. Heck, I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone and build up strength in my arms by carrying 2 toys around while I walk. I really would need to do this all in secret because I would make an odd sight by marching around room, lifting my stuffed animals up and down, and talking to myself. I know there is a lot more baby steps I need to take, and that training is going to be the longest baby step that I am going to take, but I just need to take things slowly and work hard every day. I mean, I am a baby. I am not doing anything else with my life except pooping in my diaper, which I should really start using the toilet now that I think about it, since technically I am an adult in a baby's body. Ignoring that, I finally learned how to walk at around 16 months old. I was still a little delayed, but my goal was to learn to walk before I was 18 months old, so I am on the right track. Even though I practiced and taught myself, I let Haruna and Hayashi think that they taught me. Either way, they were just relieved that I am going to end being a normal and functioning toddler after all. I still have that illness lingering around in my body, but the symptoms are not as severe as they were during the first year of my life. I can manage to digest food now properly without vomiting it back up, and I am slowly building up my strength and stamina. After learning to walk, I decided one day to explore the Hyuga compound and search for Niji to start creating a bond with him. I have only met him a handful of times in brief exchanges when Hayashi and his twin brother, Hizashi, attended meetings together and brought us along. My only interactions with Niji have not been important enough for him to remember me by, since he was too young. The only thing he did at most to me was giggle, stare, and mutter incomplete words and sentences. He would never admit it, but I knew that Hayashi is proud at the fact that his daughter, who is a whole year younger than Niji, can participate in full conversations with adults better than his brother's own son can. I slid open my bedroom door and poked my head out into the hallway. The coast is clear. I quickly stumbled down the hall, making my way by memory to the branch house. At this moment, I am supposed to be taking a nap, so no one is going to check up on me for a while. Every now and then, I have to peek around a corner or wedge myself behind a stairway when I hear footsteps or people talking. Somehow, to my luck, I made it to the main house's courtyard without getting caught. Which, now that I think about it, no one is allowed to activate their Byakugan at the compound unless they are training or otherwise authorized to because of privacy reasons. I travel across the beautiful courtyard, being careful not to mess up any gardens or decorations, and climb up the stairs leading to the branch house's porch. Unlike other compounds in Konohagakure, ours only has 2 large estates that houses the main house members and the branch house members. Inside these estates, they are sectioned off into living quarters, so each family has their own set of bedrooms, bathrooms, kitchen, and living area. I am really not sure about the branch house, but on each floor of the main house is a training room and a commons area where people can train or hang out. Having a father who is the head of our clan, our living quarters are bigger than everyone else's, and we live on the very top floor. I make my way into the branch house and instantly head to Niji's room. I am thankful that he and his father live on the first floor, so I do not have to increase my chances of getting caught by having to expand my searching range. I raise up my tiny and bony fist and gave a few knocks on his door. It slowly slides open and a cute, little Niji reveals himself. He widens his eyes at his unexpected visitor and gives me a toothy grin. "Hello, Hinata-chan. What are you doing here?" he asks me, cocking his head slightly to the side in confusion. Even though he speaks well for a 2.5-year-old, I can still hear the adorable mispronunciations in his words. I throw my hands up in the air to express my excitement. "I want to play with you," I tell him. Over the past 16 months of being Hinata, I have grasped the concept on properly acting like a young child without exposing any adult mannerisms. Niji raises his eyebrow, appearing fretful. "Where is Hayashi-sama and Haruna-sama?" I do not want to get in trouble. I hold a finger to my lips. "Sure, we won't if you don't tell your father." Niji hesitates for a second before eagerly nodding his head and allows me into his bedroom, closing the door behind us. He picks up a panda stuffed animal and a gray wolf stuffed animal. "Wanna play blocks with my animals?" I clap my hands together. "Yeah. I want the panda." In reality, I would rather play ninja and somewhat enhance my skills with him, but I need to do what he likes first in order to better my relationship with him. Niji shakes his head and hands me the wolf instead. "No, Pandai is mine. You can have Kiki," he snaps as I suppress a smirk. The serious and prideful Niji that I grew up watching is getting defensive over a stuffed panda. I forget that Niji is only a toddler and is going to act like a toddler. Still, this is hilarious to me. Over the next 30 minutes, I force myself to not pull my hair out as I build towers with blocks and pretend that our stuffed animals are monsters and terrorize our city and knock everything over. Actually, I am quite enjoying myself since I find some fun in destroying the buildings we make and hearing Niji's infectious giggle which, in return, makes me giggle. Why can't moody teenager Niji be sweet and friendly like baby Niji? However, what is annoying me is that the boy grows stubborn as hell when it comes to stack the blocks. They have to be lined up precisely and look like an actual house, and I can't get through his thick head that our creations do not have to look neat if we are just going to end up knocking them over. Suddenly, Niji's door slides open and making us both jump. Slight dread grew inside of me as I caught sight of an extremely angry Hayashi with his arms crossed. Hizashi is standing beside of him, mimicking his older brother's body posture. Hinata-chan! My father growled. What is the meaning of this? Sneaking out of your room? You were supposed to be taking a nap. Ugh, he's scary when he's mad and I do not like being yelled at. I wasn't tired and I wanted to play with Niji and Ai-san, I explain. At least I am not lying. Hayashi shakes his head. That does not matter. You are only a toddler, and you need your naps whether you like it or not. Hizashi glances over at Hayashi with a baffled expression. Hayashi-sama, I am surprised that your daughter has managed to find her way all the here to my son's room when she's only been here once. Hayashi flickers his eyes over to his younger twin brother. I am not. She is a bright child, but right now she is being a disobedient child. He sticks his hand out. Come now. We are heading now before your mother worries herself to death. She is not happy with you. I expected for Hayashi or Haruna to come looking for me eventually, so I am not at all surprised by his reaction. I reach out and hug Niji. I had fun playing with you, Ni-san. Maybe we can do it again soon. Niji gives me a sad expression and nods his head in response. I get up and take my father's hand as we walk out of my cousin's room. Wait. I hear Niji cry as he pushes past his father, carrying his stuffed wolf. We stop walking as I cast my eyes over to him, while Hayashi stares him down with narrowed eyes. I want you to have Kiki. He helps me sleep better, but now I have Pandai. So, Kiki can help you sleep better now. I take Kiki from his hands and give him a warm smile. Thank you, Ni-san. I promise to nap with him later. Clutching the wolf in my hands, Hayashi and I set off back to our living quarters. Our short trip back there is very quiet as he did not say one word to me or attempt to question me. I try to read his facial expressions, but they are hard and blank. Instead of stopping me off at my bedroom, like I was expecting, we walk into the living area where I found my mother sitting on the couch, sewing. I instantly feel bad as I notice the worried look written all over her face. As soon as she sees us come, Haruna shoots up from the couch and strides across the room. She bends down and embraces me in a tight hug. Oh, I am so glad you are okay, Hinata-chan, she exclaims. She pulls me away and runs her hand through her hair. This is unlike you. Why did you do that? I wasn't tired and I wanted to play with Niji and Ai-san, I repeated, telling her the same thing I told Hayashi. She looks up at her husband who shrugs and then back at me. Well, tell us next time if you want to do something. There is a time and place for everything. Well, I wouldn't have to sneak off to play with Ni-san if only Ota-san and Aji-san can just get along, I say before being able to stop myself. Crap. I'm too young to know about the feud and dynamics between the main house and branch house. Haruna gasps as Hayashi glares me down. What did you just say? He asks, grabbing my arm. Okay. Just calm down, and just play baby. I jerk away from him, ran behind Haruna and bury my face into her skirt, hiding from Hayashi. You scared her, Hayashi-kun, Haruna scolded as she ruffles my hair. People talk, you know. She must have heard it in passing one day. You know how children can retain information and blurt it out at any moment. I poked my head around my mother's leg as I saw Hayashi sigh, pinching the brink of his nose. With Hinata-chan, I often forget that I am speaking to a 1-year-old. Her communication skills are just too advanced for her age. That just means we have a gifted and intelligent daughter, Haruna reassures. As we always hoped for. She arches an eyebrow. Maybe you should start arranging playdates between her and Niji-kun. Hayashi frowns. My daughter is not going to associate herself with children of the branch house. Haruna places her hands on her hips. Our daughter has no children to play with in the main house. The child closest to her age is 5 and a 5-year-old is not going to want to play with a 1-year-old. Well, she is going to start training when she turns 2 in 6 months, Hayashi replies. So, she is not going to have time to play with other children anyways. Our daughter is not going to enter social until she hits the academy, Haruna snaps. She needs to be around at least one child around her age to develop social skills. The Hyuga clan cannot have a socially awkward person as its leader. Haruna and Hayashi stare each other down intensely before my father finally gives in. Fine, you win. A man cannot just simply disagree with his wife, especially one as beautiful and kind as you, my dear. He leans in and kisses her forehead. I will arrange for Niji-san and Hinata-chan to have play dates twice a week until she starts training. Then, we will see from there. See, you can be a teddy bear when you to be, Haruna coos as she plants a kiss back on her husband's cheek, making his cheeks grow red. She looks down at me and smiles. Great, now you get to play with Niji-kun again really soon. Until then, let's put you down for that nap again, I groan. Seriously, I still have to have nap time after all this nonsense? I can't wait until I'm older. If you get up again, I will change my mind, Hayashi warns me as I nod my head in understanding. As I laid in my crib, I did some quick thinking before sleep overcame me. Everything is going according to plan so far. I get to see Niji more to grow closer to him, and I get to start training in a few months. I need to pay attention so I can pick up quickly because I do not want Hayashi to start yelling at me and shredding my own confidence. I know he cares for me, but the pressure that the elder, his own father, puts on him makes Hayashi think about his clan's needs over his family's needs at times. I do not want the elder to get into his ear that I am an unworthy and failing heiress. I need to meet everyone's standards and just stick to my plan without any distractions. If I can do that, maybe I can become the head of the Hyuga clan one day and prevent Niji from spiraling into darkness and becoming obsessed with that density and fate crap. Because that shit was annoying to watch about in the anime, and I am not bound to live through it. Hayashi stuck to his word, and over the next 6 months, Niji and I attended playdates together and began to form a tight bond. I don't know how he managed to arrange it without some sort of confrontation with the elder, but he did. The only condition was that we have to have our playdates in my bedroom. Our playdates weren't nothing interesting, at least to me. We just did kiddie things such as playing with our stuffed animals, building blocks, and finger painting. With my time with Niji, I have come to realize that, despite being a toddler, he is very insightful and intelligent for his age. He seemed to have picked up the fact that something conflicting is going on between the main and branch house, but he doesn't seem to know exactly what. He hasn't spoke about it much, only once. Other than random moments like that catches me off guard, Niji is a pretty normal kid that is just living up to his title as a genius at a young age. Also, like promised, Hayashi started training me for 30 minutes in the afternoon, twice a week, shortly after I turned 2. I thought that I would be jumping straight into some gentle fist training. Nope, wrong. Instead, I get to practice stupid stances. The initial stance of the gentle fist is to put one leg in front of me and one leg behind me, one palm in front of me and one palm by my side. The front leg needs to be extended outwards while having the knees slightly bent, and the back leg needs to be deeply bent. The gentle fist is a graceful yet deadly art, so it requires being light and swift on my feet. Hayashi's strict nature shows through during our training sessions and firmly scolds me or whacks the back of my legs with a wooden cane whenever I don't slip into a form correctly to his standards. His scolding doesn't bother me because it helps me correct myself. What pisses me off, however, is the stupid whacks. They don't hurt. They are just annoying, and I really want to shove that wooden cane up his ass whenever he uses it. But I don't always get fussed at. Whenever I do something correctly, Hayashi gives me a nod of approval. He rarely ever compliments me, so I just accept his nods as them. Even though I am enjoying my time training and hanging around Niji, I've been growing a little restless lately from not being anywhere else except the Hyuga compound. I really want to go out and explore the rest of Konohagakure, but I know I cannot because technically I am only 2 years old. Actually, I believe any other toddler my age has already been around the village multiple times. However, Hayashi and Haruna are a pair of very overprotective and hovering parents, and need to know my whereabouts at all times and possibly does not want their sweet little heiress to be exposed to any negative influences. If they are not around me, I am around Ko, my caretaker, or another servant. Heck, they are even hesitate to leave me alone when I am getting put down for a nap because of my sneaking in search for Niji a few months back. So, when I found an opportunity one day to leave the compound and see the village, I took advantage of it. My Ota-san is taking me to a festival tonight. Niji brags to me after we just played an imaginary game of shinobi ever since his father started to teach him how to strike during their training with the gentle fist. Niji has insisted on playing that game during our last few playdates. This game actually helps me out a little because I am learning how to dodge and react because of Niji's barrage of attacks. Literally, the attacks are continuous and the boy is fast. His words grabs my attention as I raise my eyebrows. This can be my chance to finally see the famous Konohagakure in person if I can just tag along with my cousin. You are? I want to come. I want you to come too, Niji says. You just need to ask Hayashi-sama if you can come with us. Crap, I forgot about having to ask permission to him. Another con about being a damn child. I can't wait until I'm older. I don't know if he will allow me to go or not. I sure as hell know that he will not allow my first trip outside of the compound with a member of the branch house, even if it is his own brother. Maybe I can convince him to have Ko escort me. I won't be with Niji, but at least I will be free from this damn place for a few hours. I shake my head. I don't. He will let me go with you too. I think they are still mad at each other. Niji finally came up with the conclusion that both of our fathers are angry with one another, so I just decided to go along with it. Niji's face drops. Oh yeah? I forgot. That's stupid. It is okay, I tell him. You can still have fun tonight. Okay, Niji replies unsurely. I want to play Shinobi some more. I'm the good guy and you're the bad guy. I sigh. Great, being the bad guy equals punching bag, and now I have to evade from my young life now again. After our play date ended, I leave my bedroom and enter Hayashi's study. He doesn't really like when people enter his office without permission, an appointment, or knocking. However, I am his daughter, so I am not obliged to do any of those things. I notice him jotting something down in a notebook as I toddle in. He glances up from his work, narrows his eyebrows, and goes back to writing. I am really busy, Hinata-chan, he warns me. What is it that you need? I threw my hands up in the air in excitement. I want to go to the festival tonight. How did you hear about that? He asks, not looking up. Niji told me he was going with Aji-san and I want to go as well, I reply. Hayashi stops writing and glares at me. You are not going to the festival with them, he snaps. Do not even ask again or beg. The answer will be no. I resist the urge to smirk. I knew he was going to react like that. Thankfully, I found a loophole. What if Ko-san takes me? Hayashi raises his eyebrows, probably from the fact that his 2-year-old daughter just thought of an alternative so quickly. I do not know about that. I am not comfortable with allowing you to leave the compound without mine or your mother's supervision. I am sorry, but I am afraid you are still a little young, I sigh. Time for plan B. I run behind his desk and climb on top of his knee. Hayashi gives me a look of surprise as I widen my eyes and I give him the most innocent and sweetest expression that he has ever seen. What's wrong? Do you not trust me to stay with Ko-san or trust Ko-san to take care of me? I know that a 2-year doesn't have the capability to manipulate anyone at such a young age, but hey, I have already proven that I am not your typical toddler and my parents know that. Hayashi becomes flustered as his face grows slightly red. And no. I do, but I kiss his cheek. Then, you should let me go with him. You'll be the best Oto-san ever. Hayashi rubs his temples for a moment before replying. Fine, Hinata-chan. I will allow Ko-san to take you to the festival tonight. I think otherwise, but you better not disobey him, or you will not leave this compound again for a long time. Do I make myself clear? Score! My plan worked. See, Hayashi has a soft spot for his daughter. He just needs a little persuading. I nod my head and wrap my arms around his neck. Thank you. I promise I will be good for him. I jump down and exit the room. As I am leaving, I hear Hayashi mumble to himself, I can't believe I just got outsmarted by a 2-year-old. Later that night, I find myself in my room as Haruna is helping me get ready for the festival. She had picked out a light pink kimono and I am currently wearing it. She pins a fake white flower to the side in my short hair and slides brown sandals on me. She takes a few steps back to observe me and smiles. You look so lovely, she tells me as I look into the mirror. She's right. I do look pretty cute. Why are you and Oto-san not attending the festival? I ask. I would rather go with those two instead of Ko-san, no offense to him. I like him, but I know that an 11-year-old is not going to like hanging with a toddler at a festival, no matter how much he fakes that he does, when he would rather spend it with his friends. He and I are too busy, she explains. For the second time that day, I resist the urge to smirk. They have not had any time for themselves, or away from me, since I was born, so I know that busy is code word for bao chika wow wow. However, I am sure you will have a wonderful time with Ko-san. I am giving him some Rio to let you play some games with and buy food. I clap my hands together. Yay! I want to win some prizes. Haruna laughs and smooths down my hair. I am sure you will. There's a knock on my door as it slides open. Ko steps in and bows. I am sorry if I am interrupting anything, Haruna-sama, he says to her. But I am here to escort Hinata-sama to the festival. That is another reason why I do not like hanging around Ko. He gives me the sama honorific and I find it ridiculous. I would be so humiliated if I was him, adding sama to the end of my name. Like, he is 9 years older than me. It is just so weird to me, but I understand why he has to say that since I am the future heiress. Niji tried that sama crap with me and I squashed it instantly. You are fine, Haruna replies, giving him a kind smile. Please take care of Hinata-chan while you are out. This is her first time outside of the compound and Hayashi-kun and I are just always worried about her. I understand your concerns, but I am certain Hinata-sama will be fine under my care, Ko assures her. I will hold you to that, Hayashi says as he walks into my room, making Ko's posture go from relaxed to stiff. Damn, he's scared shitless of my father. I will not allow anything happen to her or let her leave my watch, he promises. Hayashi nods. Good. Make sure Hinata-chan has dinner at the festival, and she is only allowed to have one sweet thing to eat. I want you back with her in 2 hours after you leave. Do you understand? Even when Hayashi speaks in a calm demeanor, It has a strong sense of authority behind it. Hi, Hashirama, Kosan says, bowing. Ko takes my hand as we both leave the tense and awkward atmosphere that my father caused and exit the compound. Ko looks down at me and smiles. Are you excited to be entering the village for the first time? I am, I reply, grinning. As we enter the heart of Konohagakure, I gasp. Obviously, I have seen the village from watching the anime and reading the manga. However, seeing it in person is a different story. The buildings are all taller than I thought they would be. They aren't super tall like skyscrapers, but the average building is several stories high. The lights hanging around the roofs and lower walls of the buildings illuminated the village as they outshone the stars above, emphasizing the beauty of the village. Villagers are hustling and bustling everywhere as they visit all the different varieties of stands. Just by looking, I can easily differentiate the civilians from the shinobi by their forehead protectors and by the way they walk if they were not wearing a forehead protector. Civilians are leisurely walking with relaxed body postures while shinobi are walking with confidence and purpose, heads held high. Or buried in a saucy adult book if you are Kakashi. In the distance, I can just make out the faces of the past Hokage from Hokage Rock. It is crazy how whoever created those monuments did so with such precise of that current Hokage's appearance. It is so detailed. I wish I can see the other parts of Konohagakure such as the forests and training grounds, but I know I have to wait until I am older. Wow! I whisper as I take in the scene around me. Ko chuckles. It is wow, isn't it? Come on. Let's go find us something to eat before we look around. We wandered up to a random stand and I widen my eyes as I recognize who is running it. It is Tuchi, the owner of Ramen Ichiraku. I do not see his daughter Ayam anywhere. Then again, she is only 5 years older than me, so I don't think it would be wise for a 7-year-old to help run a restaurant. Tuchi throws a wide grin as he greets us. Welcome. I hope you are enjoying yourselves tonight. What can I get you too? Ko looks down at me. Is miso ramen okay with you, Hinata-sama? Only if you stop calling me Hinata-sama. I wanted to say. Instead, I nod politely. Yes, with pork please. That is how Naruto eats his ramen, and I just want to see what all the hype is about. Speaking of Naruto, I wonder how he is doing right now. Is the third Hokage watching over him right now, or is he just chilling at the orphanage until he enrolls at the academy? Ko gives me a strange look, distracting me from my thoughts. Are you sure? I have never seen you eat pork before. Well, I've never had miso ramen before, and you suggested that for me. Yes. I reply, a little too loud in annoyance. Tuchi laughs. Determined to get what you want, huh? Ko sighs as I glance away in embarrassment. I didn't mean to speak so aggressively. After ordering our food, we sit down at the nearest table and I pull my chopsticks apart, taking my first bite of miso pork ramen with them. I swallowed and my taste buds burst with happiness. I understand now why Naruto is crazy over this stuff. I want to throw my chopsticks aside and slurp my bowl spotless, but that would be considered very unmannerly and rude of me as a Hyuga. Instead, I use very good etiquette as I properly finish off my meal. I sit down my bowl. That was very delicious. I am glad you liked it. If you are done, let's go look around. For the next while, I enjoyed myself as I listened to the music being played around me in beautiful melodies as I observed different stands and played some games for prizes. I realize that I suck at most of the games, but my luck turns around when I win the game where you toss a small ring and it has to land on top of the bottle. I am giving the choice to select my prize and I chose a toy version of kunai knives and shuriken. Now, I can finally kick Niji's ass the next time we play Shinobi and he forces me to be the bad guy. I mean, I can use these to train and better myself. As we are browsing through a mask stand, I hear someone call my name. Hinata-sama. I spin around and see Niji running towards, his father trailing behind him. I do not get annoyed when he calls me Hinata-sama because he is around Ko and his father, and he is expected to call me that. Hi, Niji and I-san. I squeal, hugging him. You said you weren't coming, Niji pouts, crossing his arms. Ota-san said that I could go if Ko-san brought me. I explain. I show him my prize. Look what I won at the ring toss. Niji widened his eyes and gasped. Wow. That's so cool. He glances up at Hisashi and tugs on his navy kimono. Let's go to the ring toss next. I want to win what Hinata-san has. Hisashi smiles down at his son and nods. Sure, he replies. He flicks his eyes over towards me and briefly frowns before softening his facial features. Did I just imagine that, or did he just glare at me? I know he doesn't have the best relationship with my father, but he shouldn't have any animosity towards me. Ko suddenly grabs my hand and gently jerks me over to his side. We need to be going now, Hinata-sama. Perhaps we look over at the clothing stand? I can get you a new outfit of your liking. I scrunch up my face in confusion. But I am still looking at the masks. I lie. Why is he in such a hurry to leave? Ko opens his mouth to say something, but Hisashi interrupts him. We should be heading off as well. Come on, Niji. It is pleasure seeing you, Hinata-sama and Ko-san. I can tell that last sentence isn't sincere as he rests his hand on Niji's back and guides him away from us. Niji turns his head and gives me a sad stare before paying his attention back to his father. Suddenly it hit me. Ko does not want me to be associated with anyone from the branch house, including Niji, outside of the compound. I stop dead in my tracks and yank my hand away from Ko. He whirls around and kneels down to get eye level with me. Is something the matter? He asks, sounding slightly panicked. I want to walk around with Niji and Ai-san. I whined, putting on my best 2-year-old act. Ko is silent for a second, struggling to find the right words to say. Rarely anyone says no to the head of the Hyuga clan's daughter, and I know that Ko is very hesitant right now to go through with it. He swallows. I am sorry, Hinata-sama. Hayashi-sama instructed for you to be at my side at all times and no one else's. You don't exactly have to tell Ota-san that I spent some time with Nisan, I tell him. Not being used to my advanced communication skills for my age, Ko appears taken back at my statement. Pardon? He asks in disbelief. Never mind, I mumble. I sigh. I can't be too hard on him. He is only a kid who has high expectations given to him to be my caretaker, and I know he is too scared to even think about going against Hayashi's orders. I grab his hand again as we continue the rest of the festival. I am not enjoying it as much as I was earlier. It is just so stupid that the main house and branch house members cannot just get along. Why can't our clan just have normal rules and traditions like every other clan in Konohagakure? If they are so worried about the Byakugan getting stolen, why can't we all just get the dumb curse mark sealed on us, but not on foreheads where it is so obvious and humiliating? That way, we can just all come together as one house. Maybe I am just thinking nonsense since I do not know all the politics and background history of the Hyuga clan just yet. However, I do know that this whole system needs to change, and I will make sure that happens when I become the heir. After that night at the festival, my playdates with Niji decreased as my training sessions increased. Instead of seeing each other twice a week, I have only been seeing him once every other week the past couple of months. I instantly guessed the reason for that is because Ko ran his damn mouth to Hayashi about me back-talking him, and my father probably came up with the conclusion that Niji is becoming a bad influence on me and is punishing the both of us for our actions. Even though Niji never did anything wrong. During my training sessions, I have been promoted from practicing stances to actually learning simple strikes. Since I have not learned how to control my chakra just yet, nor have I activated the Byakugan, Hayashi is just teaching me the major chakra points that I should always strike in my opponents unless otherwise. When am I going to have the Byakugan? I ask him one day after a session. When you are older, he replies. You are too young as of now. How old do you think I will be before I will get it? It varies upon the person, Hayashi explains. I awakened my Byakugan when I was around 6. So, I should be able to awaken it within the next few years. I can't wait to be able to use the Byakugan. I want to be able to see chakra pathways through buildings and places that are meters away from me. How can I awaken it? I ask. By using chakra, Hayashi replies. By 5-7 years old age, you should have enough chakra developed to send a little to your eyes and activate the Byakugan. It is within our bloodline, so we are able to awaken it easily. Oh, that's easy enough. For some reason, I always thought it involved some intense training or process before one is able to enable the dojutsu. Interesting, I tell him. Well, if that is all the questions you have, then you are dismissed, he says. Okay, I say as I bow. Hayashi arches an eyebrow. I mean, yes, sir. I bow again. Hayashi nods. Better. I turn to walk off before he stops me. One more thing, Hinata-chan. I look at him again. Your 3rd birthday is coming up in a couple of months from now. We are going to have a special celebration for you involving both main house and branch house. This why I am increasing your training sessions lately. After you turn 3, it will only get harder from there. My heart drops at the mention of my upcoming birthday. That is the day that everything changes. Niji gets the curse seal branded on him. Hizashi gets his curse seal activated by his own brother. Niji gets traumatized from that, and the nail hits the coffin on his perspective of our clan once he finds out that his father gets killed. I have tried to push that day to the back of my mind these past couple of years. But now the day is coming and I need to do something to keep these events from happening. I know hands down that I can stop Niji from getting his curse seal, but perhaps I can stop the others from happening. For example, I can keep Niji from becoming traumatized and from Hizashi getting hurt if I continue strengthening my bond with Niji. In the anime/manga, it appears that Niji and Hinata met for the first time officially during her 3rd birthday. Since I have been around him a lot, and we are very close, maybe his Hizashi won't show as much hatred towards me and Hayashi whenever they are watching us spar. My father senses my lack of response and frowns. Is there a problem? I snap back into reality and shake my head. No, sir. I am excited for my birthday and the hardships to come. I exit the training room and stomp back to my bedroom. Damn fate for reincarnating me into Hinata after my death. Why couldn't have been anybody else? I've grown to attach to all these people and now I have to watch them get hurt? Hell no. Not on my watch. I'd be damned if I have to watch Niji spiral down into darkness all over again. I do not want him to end up hating me and then trying to kill me during the Chunin exams 10 years from now. Sure, they both get along after the fact. But I want to always have a good relationship with Niji. I never want it to become negative and severed. As I walk into my bedroom, I toss myself onto my bed. I find Kiki, hold onto him tight, and swallow the lump that is forming in my throat as I try to clear my head of these terrible thoughts. I open my eyes as dread overwhelms me. It is my 3rd birthday, and I have never been more terrified in my entire short life. I have been planning for this day these past few months, and to be honest, I do not have a plan to change the upcoming events today. As a now 3-year-old, I still have limited control on what I can do, and people will think I am crazy if I start rambling on about things. Or, long shot though, some sort of genius or psychic if I am predicting something and it happens later. However, I doubt it because nobody will even pay attention to what a young hysterical child has to say anyways. I will just get a pat on the head and consoled or a lecture and sent off. Another reason why I do not have any plans created is because in the anime/manga the glimpses of Niji's past involving these tragic events were brief. From that, I do not have any knowledge of when these situations are going to happen and what happens directly afterwards. Instead, I have decided to play things by ear and make decisions on a whim when certain situations occur today. It probably isn't the best idea, but it is the best one I can come up with for now. I hop out of my bed and make it up just as one of my nannies slides open my bedroom door and enters. "Oh, good morning. I was just coming to wake you up, but I see you are already ready for your special day." I narrow my eyebrows. I know that Hayashi and Haruna are busy people, but I was kind of expecting for one of them to be the first person to greet me on my birthday. I guess they are finishing up the last details for today's arrangements. "Yeah," I reply grumpily. As you can tell, I am not in the best of moods right now. My nanny gives me a worried look. "Is something wrong, Hinata-sama?" The expression on her face makes me giggle. I always think it is funny whenever I get in a bad mood and my nannies and servants freak out. They act like I am going to tell Hayashi and then they will get blamed or killed or something along those lines. I shake my head. No. I just want to get dressed and have breakfast. After eating and getting ready for the day, my nanny escorts me to the main house's courtyard where my father, Ko, and several other main house members are waiting on me. My nanny bows and releases my hand as Hayashi takes it. He looks down at me with a serious look on his face. "Are you ready to go, Hinata-chan?" he asks. I nod. "Where's Oka-san?" "She is preparing for tonight's birthday dinner for you," he replies. "Right now, we just have a formal arrangement involving your 3rd birthday with the branch house." I pull the innocent act. "Oh, so that's mean I get to celebrate my birthday with Niji and Ai-san and Aji-san?" "Yay," Hayashi sighs. "You will find out soon enough. Let's go." Hayashi and I begin to walk as the rest of the main house trails behind us. As we approach the area where the branch house members live, I see a group of them gathered in the distance. Hizashi is standing in front of everyone while little Niji is by his side. As we get closer to them, I see Hizashi's face grow from anger to sorrow and I know why. His happy-natured son, who always has a smile on his face, is about to get branded with the curse seal and be ranked as another servant to us. Except, in his case, his job duties consist of training with me and protecting me at all costs. We stop walking as we stand several feet apart from one another, either man daring to cross over the imaginary line that separates the main and branch house. After a few minutes of uncomfortable silence, Hizashi is the first to break it. "So, Hinata-sama is turning 3 years old. Congratulations." "Thank you," my father says back. As they make small talk, I glance over at Niji and smile. I have not seen him a couple of weeks, so I am happy to see him right now. Niji smiles back and waves and then puts his hand up to his mouth to whisper to his father, though I can still hear him. "She looks nice today, Ota-san. Don't you think?" Hizashi looks down sadly at his son, not responding. Niji widens his eyes and lowers his hand. "What is it, Ota-san?" he asks. "What's wrong?" Hizashi casts his eyes to the ground. "Oh. It is nothing, Niji-san." Niji just stares at his father as a puzzled expression as my heart wrenched for the both of them. Hayashi says in a commanding voice, bringing everyone's attention on him. "It is time I took Niji-san underneath my wing." My uncle nods. "Yes." Hayashi extends his free hand and motions for Niji forward. "Come, Niji-san." Niji tenses up as he hesitates, and looks between his uncle and his father. Where is he taking me, Ota-san?" "Like me, you are about to get the curse seal placed on you," Hizashi replies. He looks like he would rather die right now than admit that to his young son. Niji appears confused once more. "Curse seal? What is the curse seal?" "You will find out soon," my father replies calmly. "We need to hurry along now and go through with the ceremony. You and your father are going to spectate during Hinata-chan's training session this afternoon. I wouldn't call forcing someone to obtain a curse mark on their forehead to be a ceremony." I narrow my eyes and clench my fist. "Yes, what is the curse seal?" I ask, repeating Niji's question. I don't know why I am stalling for time right now when I know it isn't going to help anything. Maybe so Niji can enjoy a few more minutes before his freedom is stripped away from him. "You will find out soon as well, Hinata-chan," he tells me, giving me an odd look. I know that he is beginning to lose his patience as he doesn't like being around his brother for long periods of time. "If he is getting one, does that mean I am getting one also?" I ask, pressing on. This whole situation is pissing me off, so why not keep asking questions to push his buttons a little? I have nothing to lose, Hayashi grits his teeth. I can tell he is trying to control his annoyance so he doesn't lose his cool in front of everybody. No, he simply says. I arch an eyebrow. Why not? Hayashi squeezes my hand and causes me to wince slightly in pain. Please, enough with the questions, he orders, glaring down at me. If it wasn't for my birthday, I would probably be scolded and sent to my room with no dinner for making him look stupid in front of the whole clan with my repetitive questions. I remain silent as Hisashi whispers something in Niji's ear before patting his head and Niji begins walking towards us. Hayashi reaches out to grab his nephew's hand, but I cut in front of him and grab it for myself. Hayashi signs at my actions and ignores it. I give Niji a reassuring look as he just stares back at me with a worried one. Hisashi and the rest of the branch house bows towards us as we turn and head back to the main house. The group behind us disperses as Hayashi leads Niji and I into the convocation room where the clans holds important meetings and such. Waiting for us is the elder, as he sits on top of a teal-woven mat with his legs crossed. Technically, he is my grandfather, but he doesn't act like one towards me or Niji, and I do not see him very often. So, in my books, he doesn't deserve that title. You three finally made it, he greets as he gets up and strides over to us. Yes, my father replies as he lets go of our hands. Let's commence with the branding of the cursed seal. For some reason, I had in mind that the ceremony was going to take place in a dark room with no windows, and the only light came from the flickers of candles along the walls. I don't know. I was expecting some type of torture session and a sinister atmosphere to match it. Hayashi, the elder, and I all circle around Niji as he stands in the middle. You can tell he is scared as he nervously looks at all of us. Ugh, I just want to snatch him up, run away, and hide him somewhere so he doesn't get the cursed seal. Except that idea will not work because these two men possess the Byakugan, so I am just going to get that stupid idea out of my head. Hinata-chan, my father says as I glance up at him. Since you will be the leader of this clan one day, you are going to watch how this ceremony works. Part of your duty as the head is to mark the members of the branch house with the cursed seal. The main purpose of the mark is to protect the Byakugan and its secrets, and also the main house. The wearer of this mark will have their Byakugan sealed after death so it may never reach an enemy's hands. I still find it creepy how eyes in this world can be plucked out and popped back in like damn contacts. The secondary purpose is to control the branch house members with fear so they can never forget that it is their destiny to serve and protect us, the elder adds as Hayashi shifts his eyes over towards him. I know he didn't want to say that in front of Niji. Even though he does put the clan before anything else at times and is a strict follower of sticking with traditions, he isn't heartless. Hidden deep down, he does have a soft spot for his brother and nephew and didn't want to say that in front of the kid. Hayashi nods. That too. For those reasons you will be an observer today, for when the time comes when you are older, you will be ready. Hell, no. I will never be ready because I will never allow this shit to occur when I become the head. I will find some other way to protect the clan and its secrets. Hayashi directs his attention back to Niji. Stand still, Niji. This is a quick process, and it will not harm you in any way, though you might feel some slight temporary burning. Niji swallows and nods his head, attempting to not show fear. Why yes, Hayashi-sama. Hayashi lifts his arms up and quickly makes a sequence of hand signs before resting his palm onto Niji's forehead. His palm is glowing a green color as he exerts chakra out of it and then removes it away. Niji cringes as a poof of smoke rises above his forehead, making a sizzling sound. I widen my eyes in a mixture of amazement and disgust as a light green line forms across his head, followed by a large X, and then ending with another line. The curse seal stays lit for a few more seconds before turning into a jade green color. Well, that wasn't as intense as I always pictured it. Niji reaches up to touch his forehead, but doesn't feel anything out of the ordinary. Did it work? He dares to ask. Yes, Hayashi replies. You have now been branded with the cursed seal and it is your official duty now to serve the main house. Niji straightens up and bows. Yes, Hayashi-sama. Hayashi remains cold-faced. Good. You may go back to your father now. Remind him that the both of you are to be in the training room at 2. You are dismissed. Niji bows once more and repeats, yes, Hayashi-sama. He gives me a melancholy stare before leaving the room. He looks like a different person to me now with that demeaning seal on his forehead. I look at Hayashi and the elder. I do not like that cursed seal. Hayashi opens his mouth to say something, but the elder beats him to it. It does not matter if you like it or not. It is necessary to protect the Byakugan and the clan. You will learn deeper as to why when you get older. I don't believe that crap that it is necessary. The Uchiha clan possess the potential to unlock the Sharingan, and you don't see a bunch of them running around with cursed seals on them. And I believe the Sharingan is more dangerous and powerful than the Byakugan. Especially if someone gets their hands on one. Okay, I decide to say, dropping the conversation. It will not go in any direction I will like anyways. Hayashi grabs my hand. Let's go have lunch with your mother before your training session, he says. I will be having you participate in a practice spar with me this afternoon, so you will need to be energized and focused. At least I get to learn more today and put my gentle fist into action. Your kick is still too weak, Hayashi tells me as I stumble a few steps back. I nod my head. Yes, I've been too distracted by Hizashi to commit 100% to the practice match between me and my father. I keep looking at him out of my peripheral vision to make sure he isn't glaring at me with any killing intent and behaving himself. My training session has been going on for about 30 minutes now, and he hasn't done anything just yet, so maybe he doesn't have any grudge towards me since I have been around his son and I are close. I lift my hands up in the correct positions and charge towards Hayashi. Hiya! I yell as I jump forward to attack him again as he easily dodges me. I never understood why characters in Naruto always yell the battle cry as they go after their opponent. Now, I do because it just releases tension and pumps me up before attacking. I would not even consider what I am doing right now a practice match because it has only been consisted of me striking while Hayashi sidesteps all around me. I know I have only just begun my training, but it is still difficult when my little body cannot keep up. I reach out to strike him as he steps behind me. I spin around and thrust my palm upwards as he lightly smacks it out of the way. I take that opportunity to rush in with my other palm and bring it out in front of me. He whirls around me as I push off from the ground and throw a roundhouse kick to his knee, which he easily dodges once again. In my perspective, I think I am doing pretty good for a 3-year-old, thought I still tire easily. As I continue to spar, I hear Hizashi and Niji converse from my right. Listen, Niji-san. Is your destiny clear to you? You live only to protect Hinata-sama and to preserve the power of our clan's main household. I understand, Ota-san. Niji replies happily as he watches me spar. Hinata-sama is really good. I hope I get to spar with her sometime. Hizashi doesn't respond as he stares at his son sadly before he narrows his eyes. He seems to be deep in thought as he turns his head and begins to glare at me. Why does he still have any ill intent towards me after I, the heiress, do not treat Niji like another member of the branch house, but as a friend? A cousin? Family? Realization then hits me that this is the moment that Hayashi activates Hizashi's cursed seal. I stop in mid-strike as I land on the ground and run over to Niji. I know my father is going to get really pissed at me for suddenly stopping our match, but I do not care right now. I can see the anger momentarily drop from Hizashi's face as curiosity replaces it as he notices me approaching his son. I would love to spar with you sometime, Niji and I-san. I tell him, trying to make my voice sound excited. Niji looks behind me at Hayashi, who is probably staring a hole through me, and then at me, sensing the slight tension in the air. That is great, Hinata-sama. But I recommend you return back to your training with Hayashi-sama. That is more important right now. I can bet 1,000,000 ryo that these are some of the lines that Niji's father has fed him so he stays off the main house's shit list. I do not think Hayashi-sama would allow that, Hizashi tells me. I notice he clenches his fists before quickly releasing them as he made that comment. He is correct, Hinata-chan. I would not, I hear Hayashi snap behind as I wince and turn around. Do not leave abruptly like that again, or at all, unless given permission. They are only here to spectate, not to converse with. I bow with fake remorse. I am sorry, Ota-san, I reply as I head back over to him. At least I managed to distract Hizashi and tried to prove to him, once again, that he has no reason to hate because I am nice to Niji. Ha, it is strange that the heiress is trying to please a branch member. Hopefully he can collect his thoughts now and… A threat! Hayashi suddenly growls as he jumps in front of me with his arm out and lifts up a single finger. I widen my eyes as I witness Hizashi give out a blood-curdling yell and collapse onto the floor, grasping his head. No! Stop! I shout as I grab Hayashi's arms, but he shoves me away. Niji has his mouth open with a terrifying look written on his face as he rushes over to Hizashi. Ota-san! He calls out. Niji and I watch in terror as Hizashi slings the forehead protector off of him and returns to grasping his head. His cursed seal is glowing like Niji's was when he received it, except many veins were popping out around Hizashi's from the pain of his frying brain cells. Tears threatens to spill over as they well up in my eyes and I blink them away as I bit my lip. So either way, this was going to happen and Hizashi still hates me. Why does he hate me? Just because I am the offspring of his brother? But still. He didn't deserve this to happen to him. Take your Ota-san home, Hayashi orders, ignoring his brother's horrifying screams. Niji gives him a terrified look, fearing he is next. I will forgive the fool this time. But only this time. See that you never forget your destiny. Hayashi turns to leave the room. I can see the hatred grow in Niji's eyes as he gives a resentful glare to my father's back before looking down at his father. Tears of anger stream down his face as he clenches his teeth and slams his fist to the ground. By this point, Hayashi has released the jutsu and Hizashi is just laying there, with his hands still hanging on to his head, panting and groaning loudly. My body is wavering in my own anger and fear now as I take a couple of breaths to attempt to calm myself down and step towards Niji before stopping myself. How can I possibly comfort the boy right now? He just got traumatized from witnessing his father getting hurt, and he now knows what he is in for if he steps 1 foot out of line. It has hit him, and he understands now what his role as a member of the branch house is supposed to be. He is perceiving now it is truly his destiny to be a slave to the main house until he set free after his death, and it can never be changed. At this point, he can still be saved from his mind and outlook going down a dark path. However, if Hisashi does end up sacrificing himself, Niji's mind will never be changed until Naruto does 10 years from now. But I do not want Niji to feel that for that long. Yes, Hayashi can tell the story to Niji about his father earlier than the Chunin exams. That still will be years from now because he is too young to understand and grasp the concept. I failed just now and I cannot fail again. I will not. I need to prevent Hisashi's death. He will not die, Hinata-chan. I hear my father call from the doorway. Let's go. Ignoring him, I decide to give it a chance and talk to Niji. And Niji and I-san? I say to him hesitantly, please listen to Hayashi-sama and go with him, Niji tells me, not looking at me. I raise my eyebrows in concern as I regretfully respect his wishes and leave the room with Hayashi. During my birthday dinner, I had to force myself to put on a happy act. Most of it is so I do not hurt my mother's feelings since she cooked my favorite meal for me and made me a cake out of cinnamon buns. I can see why the original Hinata liked these so much. They are really good and I have developed a sweet tooth for them. They are also Haruna's favorite dessert, so that is something we bond over and eat together. The birthday dinner itself was a small one consisting of only me, my mother, and father. We all ate, talked, and laughed like the terrible events that occurred today never happened. After the dinner, I opened my gift from my parents. Since I am into kimonos, they had bought me a new violet-colored and a yellow-colored one. This year, I told them I didn't want a lot of gifts for my birthday, so I am glad they respected my wishes. Coming from one of the richest clans in Konohagakure, I have a lot of shit, and I do not need any more stuff. Later that night, after Hayashi and Haruna put me down to sleep, I decide to stay awake. I know that the head shinobi of Kumogakure is supposed to break into the compound and kidnap me sometime throughout the night. Except, I will not allow him to even leave the room with me, and that is why I am staying awake. I am determined to not allow Hisashi to die. I do not know why keeping Hisashi is going to change the course of things from now on, but it should not change that much. I am hoping that, somehow, Hayashi and Hisashi can strengthen their relationship and not hate each other anymore. But I highly doubt that will happen unless outside help intervenes, aka me and Niji. The hairs on my neck stands up as I hear some shuffling coming from my ceiling. I see the tile lift up and disappear as a dark figure silently drops to the floor. I quickly close my eyes and pretend to be asleep so I do not alarm him. My plan starts now. I hear the man tiptoe over towards me and begin to pull back my blankets. I snap my eyes open and jump up, thrusting my palm out. I strike his forearm as he takes a couple of steps back, grasping it. Even if I am still inexperienced in the art of the gentle fist, the beauty of it is that even the slight tap can cause severe internal damage. Which means, momentarily, he has no usage in his left arm. I take this split second to call for backup. Otiuya-san! Otiuya-san! Help! Help! I scream at the top of my lungs. I am planning that when Hayashi enters the room and sees the head shinobi, he will just restrict him and turn him in for questioning instead of killing him. He will not have any reason of killing him since I am not getting kidnapped. The man lunges towards me with his usable arm as I hop off my bed and sprint towards the door. Before I can open it, I feel fingers wrap around my neck and lift me into the air. He gives my neck a squeeze, making me gasp for air, before hauling me underneath his arm and busts through my window. Well, so much for not allowing him to run off with me. Shards of glass cut through me and embed into my skin as I dramatically yell out in pain, attempting to alarm more people. The man runs through the courtyard and halts immediately when Hayashi jumps off a roof and lands in front of us. Hayashi already has his Byakugan activated as he glares at my kidnapper. I see my 3-year-old daughter has temporarily disabled your left arm, he taunted. You call yourself the head shinobi of Kumogakure? I am disappointed. The head shinobi doesn't say anything as he lifts up his left arm, cringing from the pain, pulls out a kunai knife, and holds it to my neck. Terror overwhelms me as I gulp. He wouldn't kill me, will he? I am supposed to be delivered, from my knowledge, to Kumogakure. This has to be an act. Hayashi narrows his eyebrow at the sight of the knife. Drop her now and you shall live. I hope his words were an act also. He can't kill him. The man dug the tip of the kunai knife into my neck, pricking it. A tiny drop of blood runs down my neck. Ota-san, I whimper. I think the head shinobi is serious about killing me and stealing my Byakugan later. Before I can blink, Hayashi rushes forward and slams his palm into the man's chest, barely missing his heart. He grabs me as the man coughs up blood and falls backwards. I cling onto him as Hayashi bends down and rips off the cloth mask off the man's face, revealing the fact that he is the head shinobi. Hayashi sighs as he sets me down and drops down to my eye level. Are you alright, Hinata-chan? He asks. With his Byakugan, he scans over my body and answers for me. Besides a couple bruises and the tiny puncture wound on your neck and pieces of glass stuck to you, you are okay. That is good. Did you kill the man? I asked him. Hayashi shook his head. No. I would have if you weren't here or if you were asleep when he kidnapped you. I did not want to in front of you. I resist the urge to break into a happy dance as I hear the good news. Any fear that I had just experienced a moment ago is gone, and is replaced with relief and joy. Hisashi is going to live. There is no reason for him to die now. That means Niji gets to grow up with his father, and he can have a better outlook on life now than what he was about to have. My internal celebration is ruined as a few servants comes running over to us. Better late than ever. Hayashi-sama. Hinata-sama. A long black-haired man hollers as they stop in front of us. A young woman with short brown hair lifts me into her arms, cradling me. Ugh, put me down. Does she need any medical attention? Hayashi shakes his head. No, she just needs first aid. I need you to take out the pieces of glass that are embedded in her skin and tend to the wounds on her neck. It is nothing serious, thank goodness, the woman replies with a sigh of relief. I roll my eyes. I have never met this woman. She shouldn't be this worried about me. I get why she is, but it is annoying. I am fine. What happened here? The Hyuga servant asks. I will discuss it in a meeting tomorrow, Hayashi replies. Go tell everyone that there will be one at 8 and sharp tomorrow. Both main and branch members are to be there, the servant bows. Yes, Hayashi-sama. And he takes off. What are you going to do now? The woman carrying me still asks, looking down at the unconscious man with her Byakugan. Hayashi picks up the head shinobi and slings him over his shoulder. I am taking him to the Sandaime Hokage-sama. He will know what to do from there. After taking care of Hinata-chan, bring her to Haruna-chan. I didn't allow her to come with me, but I am sure she is worried sick over her daughter right now. Yes, sir, the woman says, bowing. She brings me inside and into the treatment room where clan members go for minor injuries like mine. She sets me down on one of the beds and begins rummaging through a shelf. She pulls out a white box and opens it, pulling out a pair of tweezers. I recommend you stay still, Hinata-sama, she suggests. I am about to pull the shards of glass out of you. It isn't going to hurt much. It will only feel like little pinches. I nod as she begins to pull the shards out. As she does, the woman tries to distract me with small talk. So, I noticed that you disabled your kidnapper's left arm. I guess all that training is paying off, huh? I shrug. It was only a surprise attack. The man still could have beaten me. Sometimes the stronger one doesn't always win, the woman tells me. Sometimes the intelligent one does. I arch an eyebrows. But what I didn't involve intelligence. I don't mean to disagree with you, but it involves a lot intelligence to plan a strategy, the woman explains. Even one as simple as mine? I ask. I'm not a stupid person, but surely any shinobi would think of an easy surprise attack like mine. All I did was attack him when he removed my blankets, the woman nods. Well, it is expectational for a child your age to even think of an obliterate strategy like that on the spot. Most children your age would have screamed or stayed silent in fear. I always forget about my damn age. That is why she is so amazed with me. Might as well take the credit. Thank you, I reply. After removing the shards of glass, she lifts her hand to my neck as it glows green. Instantly I can feel the bruises and puncture wound disappear like they were never there. Alright, we are all done here, the woman informs me. Let's take you to Haruna-sama now. When the woman brings me to my mother, who we find in my bedroom sweeping up glass, she drops the broom and runs over to me, giving me a tight hug. Hinata-chan. Are you alright? She asks, exasperated. Yeah. I am fine, I tell her, kissing her on the cheek. She smiles and smooths down my hair as she looks at the woman. Thank you so much for taking care of her and bringing her to me, the woman bows. It is my pleasure, Haruna-sama. Before you go, can you tell me what happened really quick? My mother asks. As my woman retold what happened, I walk away from my mother and examine the damage. Haruna has already swept up most of the shards of glass, but my window is going to need replacing. The ceiling tile that is missing on the ceiling needs to be put back, and I need to get changed out of these slightly bloody clothes and showered. I look and feel nasty. When the woman left, Haruna seemed to have read my mind and lifts me up. Let me give you a quick bath before you go back to bed, she says as she takes me into their bathroom. The whole compound is buzzing a few days later after they heard what happened from my father's mandatory meeting. He set up some new rules so I can have better protection. I am never allowed to be alone, and I must always have someone with me. When I am in my room playing or sleeping, I must always have a guard staying outside of my room at all hours. While these rules are good for protecting, it sucks because it limits any little privacy I had before. A good thing that comes out of this though is that when I am in my room playing, Niji gets to be there with me so I am not alone. He can't fully protect me yet just by himself, but he can alarm the guard outside of my door if they don't notice and briefly shield me until they come in. So, technically, the only time I get alone time is when I am using the bathroom or sleeping. Yay. Niji nor I haven't brought up the whole curse seal incident, which is good because I didn't really want to talk about it, and neither did he. He acts completely normal towards me like nothing ever happened, and I am thrilled for that because I was afraid that he would act different and cold. We still play Shinobi and with Panai and Kiki, and I would rather be doing that with him any day, no matter how much I mentally complain how childish it is. Word also gotten around how talented and gifted I am now for thinking up a plan on the spot and attacking my kidnapper. This has gotten many people excited, and I used to have audiences during my training sessions, which have increased from 2 days a week to 3 now, until finally Hayashi forbid anyone from watching except for the people he invites, or orders, to spectate. Everyone wanted to see the talented young heiress and her capabilities. I'm just sitting here like, hey, my dirty little secret is that I am really a 21-year-old stuck in a 3-year-old's body, and I have the common sense to come up with a simple idea. That's it. But I am also secretly enjoying all the attention I am getting, so I shouldn't be complaining. I never figured out what happened to the head shinobi, but I really don't care because he was nothing more than cannon fodder anyways. The following days that passed over the next couple of years were not as eventful as my 3rd birthday. My training schedule has increased dramatically, and I take that as a good sign since Hayashi rarely ever tells me I am doing anything wrong nowadays. Personally, I have felt myself become more stronger, quicker, and I am on a good pace at building up my stamina. My gentle fist strikes are sharp and precise with power backing them up. Even though I am naturally flexible, I have noticed my kicks are getting higher and my body gracefully flows when I have to dodge and block attacks. Even with all this success I am having so far, I still have a long ways to go and need to keep continuing this training so I do not let my unnamed illness to catch up to me and allow me to become feeble again. My father's and Hisashi relationship has not changed one bit, so I am not going to cover that topic. I have decided to handle that whole situation for when I am older. What I will mention is Niji. He is in his 2nd year at the academy now, and I already have some competition with him. He is already at the top of his class and continues to impress his instructors every day. Everything just comes so easy to him, and I will admit I am a little jealous. I thought I was quick to pick up on things such as the gentle fist. Nope. He's proven me wrong. Even though I haven't seen him personally yet while he trains, I can already bet that he's a million times better than me in becoming a prodigy. What I can say that I have witnessed from him is a little arrogant and prideful attitude that he has begun to develop, similar to the one in the anime/manga. I guess that part of him cannot be changed whether his father died or not. I don't blame him for acting that way. He's better than most children that go through the academy, and he knows that. Though he doesn't go around bragging or taunting to others, I have seen some of his looking down on people looks towards me whenever he has to watch me train. Niji has also confided in me that he hates the way the main house runs things and how they expect the branch house to always fear them and be their shields and puppets. He has even admitted that he hates my father ever since Hayashi unleashed Hisashi's curse seal in front of him, and I do not blame Niji. I would hate someone if they harmed my parents in front of me. At least I can sleep well at night knowing that Niji does not hate me, so I know he will easily help me change the corrupt ways of this clan whenever I become the heiress. I have not told him my ideas just yet, but I plan on it whenever we are teenagers. I lied earlier. One eventful thing has happened since my birthday. The birth of my younger sister, Hanabi, happened about 2 months ago, and I am head over heels for her. She is literally the cutest baby I have ever seen, well, the only baby I have ever seen in this life, and my parents are just as crazy over her as they were of me when I was born. This time around, Hayashi actually knows how to react whenever Hanabi cries in his arms. Since I am not considered a baby or toddler anymore, being 5 years old now, he has been showing less affection towards me and has become more strict and harsh to prepare me for the shinobi world. His soft side is coming back now ever since Hanabi has been born, and it is sweet to see him cuddle his newborn daughter and play with her. Haruna is just as on cloud 9 about Hanabi as the rest of us, except she goes out of her way to make sure I do not feel left out. Knowing that I am way too mature for my age, she has trusted me with taking care of my sister when it comes to changing her, feeding her, and carrying her around. Whenever my parents become busy, they let me watch Hanabi by letting me hold her in a sling that is wrapped around my shoulder, and I play with her. Truthfully, I exaggerate on the word watch because we have a nanny babysitting us in reality. One evening while having dinner with my family, my father reminded me of something that made me excited. Hinata-chan. Do not forget that tomorrow is your first day at the academy. My eyes widen as I swallow some rice. A couple of weeks ago, Hayashi had taken me to register for the academy, but I did not know we start tomorrow. I instantly feel overjoyed and nervous at the same time. I get to finally meet Naruto and all the other characters and having interaction with other people besides a Hyuga. What I am nervous about is actually performing well in the academy. While I know a lot about the anime/manga, it never covered much in detail about what exact a student has to learn in order to become a genin. So, I am going to be feeling clueless for once and have to resort to being in the same boat as everybody else. Ugh, how come you are not saying anything? My mother asks, feeding Hanabi through a bottle. She winks. Are you getting cold feet? I shake my head. How hard is the academy? I ask. It isn't too hard as long as you pay attention, study, and train, Haruna explains. She briefly gets distracted by Hanabi's sudden babbling. She smiles and tickles her daughter before paying attention to me again. But you are an intelligent and hard-working child. You will do fine. I just expect nothing but good reports about you, my father adds. I also expect you to stay at the top of your class like Niji-san has been. You both are representing the Hyuga clan and you cannot be overshadowed by a member of the branch. My mother sighs. Stop putting so much pressure on her, Hayashi-kun. She hasn't even started yet. I agree with my mother. I am already nervous enough about understanding the material and Hayashi is already expecting me to be Rookie of the Year? No way. Plus, I do not even plan on being the top of my class even if everything does somehow come easy to me. I do not want to screw up the predestined genin teams that are already set in stone, as of now. I need to stay an average student so I can be on my team with Kiba and Shino so I do not change things. Changing things can alter the future, and I like having the advantage of knowing what is going to happen. Still, I will make my father feel better and agree with his words. I nod my head. I will not let you down, Ota-san. Hayashi appears pleased. Good. Hanabi decides to interrupt the conversation by spitting out her bottle and wailing. Haruna excuses herself from the table as she begins to pat Hanabi's back while leaving the room. Hayashi looks at me once more. While I do not doubt you, I just expect a lot from you because you will have a lot of competition in your class over the next few years. Oh, I know what he means. My class is famous for having a bunch of loud and cocky heirs and heiresses running around. I know one kid in particular that he is mostly talking about. Sasuke Uchiha. Still, that doesn't motivate me enough to change things and become the top of the class. Naruto has proven to me that you don't have to graduate at the top of the class, or with any good grades at all, to be a great shinobi. It helps, but it doesn't determine a person's overall talent. I mean, look at Sakura pre-Shippuden. As I walk into the busy classroom, all my nervous first day of school jitters went away. Children are scattered all over the place, talking to one another. The classroom looks exactly like the way I remember it being, 4 rows each containing 3 long desks that sit 3 kids each. I decide to ignore the kids for now as I make my way to the back row and sit at the chair and desk closest to the window. I do not want to draw much attention to myself and plan on staying quiet to observe. Now, I am not going to act antisocial and have 0 friends. But I plan on just acting strictly friendly to the main characters as of now. I do not want to make any friends yet because I want the kids to grow into their destined characters before I play a part in their lives and affect it. While I really want to fangirl for actually seeing some of my favorite characters ever in person, I know I cannot. Plus, I am too much of a chicken right now to try and do anything differently in fear of changing things, but I will show that I am friendly by talking to them every now and then to create a slow bond that will blossom into a friendship in a few years. As I scan the classroom, I notice Sakura basically hiding in the corner in the back row like I am except on the other side of the room. Her pink bangs are covering most of her face as her frightful eyes are looking at the ground, trying not to make contact with anyone. I smirk. I'm not used to seeing Sakura so silent and not that confident in herself. I know that soon Ino is going to change her ass around and boost her self-esteem, so I am not too worried, though I feel bad for her. She should not be made fun of just because she has a big forehead that has enough room to land an airplane. Okay, I'm done. The next person that I care enough at the moment to look for is Sasuke. He too is sitting by himself, except he is sitting exactly 2 rows ahead of me, staring out the window. Many fangirls, including Ino, is crazily staring at him with hearts in their eyes as he chooses to ignore them. I guess he learned that from his brother Itachi. In my eyes, Sasuke seems to only act like his true self whenever he's around his older brother, so I am not surprised to see him isolating himself in a public setting. Like Niji, he probably thinks he is better than everyone and doesn't want to hang around these peasants. As I continue to observe, I notice a sleeping Shikamaru, a chubby Choji snacking on some chips, Shino hiding behind his sunglasses, and Kiba laughing loudly about something. It is odd to see Kiba without Akamaru, so I assume he gets him when he's a little older. The only person that I see is missing is Naruto. Of course he is. He's probably late from oversleeping or causing pranks. The class begins to settle down and take their seats as a woman strides into the classroom. She has short, straight brunette hair, narrow green eyes, and is of average height. She is wearing the standard Konohagakure shinobi outfit complete with the forehead protector around her waist, sandals, and frock jacket. As she walks over to her desk, 2 light-headed kids comes to sit beside of me. I make no effort to look or talk at them since they are just cannon fodder. The woman smiles brightly at us as she stands in front of her audience. Welcome to Konoha Academy, she greets. My name is Amori Rucky, but you can just refer to me as Rucky-sensei. I will be your instructor for the next 3 years. I hope you brats can make things easy for me by doing what I say, and we will all get along just fine. Just as she says that, the classroom doors slides open and runs in a panting Naruto. Sorry I'm late. He apologizes as he leans against the wall to catch his breath. Rucky crosses her arms and gives Naruto an annoyed look. Arriving late for your first day of class is not giving me a good impression of you, she tells him. Then, she widens her eyes. Oh, you're that kid. Her demeanor changes from annoyed to disgust as she averts her eyes away from him, pointing at an empty seat. Just go sit down. Ignoring her obvious distaste towards him, Naruto puts on a wide grin as he skips up the steps and sits down beside Sasuke. What's up? My name is Uzumaki Naruto, he says happily to Sasuke as he reaches out his hand. Sasuke gives Naruto a bored look and glances out the window again. A tick mark flashes on Naruto's head as he grits his teeth. Hey! Don't ignore me when I am introducing myself to you. So, this is when the rivalry begins. Sasuke replies without looking. The famous Uchiha response. Naruto is about to say something else before Reki interrupts him. Anyways, she yells before speaking at a normal tone. During your first year here at the academy, you will be learning basic arithmetic, reading comprehension, spelling, and grammar. You will do a little bit of this every year, but will be the main focus on this year. Before one becomes a shinobi, they need to know how to read, write, and solve problems. Great, I get to repeat kindergarten all over again. So much for not trying to be top student. This shit will be too easy for me to even fake that I don't understand. Every day, except Friday, I will assign you all a page of homework that I will expect completed and turned into me the following morning. Every Friday, we will have a spelling test on a list of words I have given you for that week. It will be a mixture of basic everyday words and shinobi terms. It may not sound like it, but the first year is always the easiest year. When you are older, you will be wishing that you were a first year again when things get hard. Somehow, I think I doubt that. After a couple of hours of Reki going on about what we should expect for the year and other stuff that is too irrelevant for me to explain, it is lunchtime. The class disperses from the sits and begin to eat and mingle as I continue to sit alone and unpack the bento that Haruna prepared for me. I open it up to see a small piece of chicken, a variety of steamed vegetables, a handful of rice, and a cinnamon bun for dessert. Yum! Sounds like a great lunch to me. As I eat, I see Naruto try a couple more times to speak to Sasuke before he stomps off in annoyance. I watch as he tries to join in with several different groups before walking away from being ignored. My heart is breaking for him. I raise my eyebrows as I realize that he doesn't have any lunch packed with him. He must have forgotten when he overslept this morning. I try to not give in until I hear his stomach rumble all the way from back here. He puts a hand on his stomach as he scratches the back of his neck in embarrassment, as his classmate stares at him before returning to their business. Suddenly, Naruto sees me staring at him and makes his way up to me. Ugh, come on, kid. You're going to make me feel bad and give you my lunch if you come over here. He plops down beside of me and eyes me suspiciously. Why do you keep on looking at me? He asks. Your eyes are freaky. I almost cough up my chicken after he says that. I guess the third Hokage hasn't taught him any manners yet. An idea suddenly pops in my head as I smirk. You think my eyes are freaky? Naruto nods. Well, yeah. They are just different and all large and white. They aren't freaky, I tell him. I close my eyes as I slip a little chakra into them. I dramatically open them back up as I feel the veins begin to bulge around my eyes and my vision beginning to change. Damn, Naruto does have a shit ton of chakra reserves. Okay, now they are. Naruto yelps as he falls out of his chair. What did you do to them? I am just showing you how freaky my eyes can truly get, I tease, giggling. Oh, I forgot to mention that I can use the Byakugan now. The events revolving around the awakening isn't anything too eventful. Hayashi was explaining to me one day how the Byakugan worked, and I just tried to activate it just for shits and giggles and it worked. Hayashi was a little startled but pleased that I activated mine at a young age, especially before Niji, and that's the end of my short flashback. You're strange, Naruto mumbles as he climbs back into his chair. His stomach growls again. I deactivate my Byakugan. And you are hungry? I hand him my bento. You can have the rest of my lunch. Naruto shakes his head. No, that's yours. I will be fine until I get home. It's my fault I forgot to pack my lunch anyways. My stupid alarm didn't go off. I roll my eyes. I know it is mine. I get to decide what I want to do with it, and I am deciding to share my lunch with you. I wave the food under his nose for extra measure. He smells the delicious aroma and gulps. Are you sure? I sigh. I wouldn't be offering it to you if I wasn't. He gives me a huge grin as he snatches the bento from my hands and begins to dig in. MMMPH. MMMPH. Thank you so much. MMMPH. He tells me with his mouth full. No problem. I say, kicking myself. I hope this doesn't change anything. I felt bad for him. I couldn't let him just starve. I even gave him my cinnamon roll, that's how bad I feel for him. Okay, I doubt anything will change from this little event. I am just thinking irrationally right now. I can just go with my original plan and stay friendly with Naruto, but not on an everyday basis. So, what is your name? He asks after coming up for air after eating for 2 minutes straight. I stare at my now empty bento. Wow, he was hungry. All my food is gone. I really wanted my cinnamon bun. Sad day. My name is Hyuga Hinata, I tell him. And I already know that you are Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto narrows his eyes. How do you know my name? God, he is dense. You just announced it to the class when you were talking to the dark-headed boy, I explain. Oh yeah? Well, he thinks he's so cool and better than everyone. Naruto complains. What's so special about him? I shrug. Well, how about I ask him? I contemplate stopping him so he doesn't make our instructor hate him more, but I changed my mind. Naruto will not listen to me anyways if I did. Naruto shoots out of his chair and marches towards Sasuke. He slams his palm loudly on the desk, causing everyone to jump and stare at him. Sasuke glances up in mid-bite. Why do you act like you are some big shot, huh? Naruto asks, leaning down to get in his face. Sasuke responds by eating another bite of his tomato sandwich. You don't ignore someone when they are talking to you, Naruto exclaims, getting flustered. I laugh. This is getting too funny. Go away, moron, Sasuke finally says in a monotone voice. What? Who are you calling a moron? Hey! Leave him alone! Ino shouts as she runs over and bonks Naruto over the head. Oh wow! What was that for? Let him eat in peace. Fangirl number 1 chimes in. Yeah! Fangirl number 2 adds to stay relevant. Ruki loudly claps her hands together. Okay, enough! She yells. Naruto! Go back to your seat and stop railing up the class. What? He can't control how the other people are responding to his antics. Ino and the fangirls should get reprimanded as well. Yeah? Whatever, Naruto says as he crosses his arms and returns to sit beside of me. I'm sitting here from now on. Stop ruining my plans. I think you should sit in your original seat, I suggest. Naruto shakes his head rapidly. No way. No way. I'm not sitting beside of that team, but maybe if you get to know him you can see why he acts the way he does, I tell him. PSHHH. I don't care for him. I arch an eyebrow. If you don't care for him, why does he bother you so much? I ask. He has barely spoken to you and he is already getting underneath your skin. Naruto gives me an irritated look. Because people like him get on my nerves. Well, if you want him to notice you, I begin. You need to hang around him and talk to him. He will warm up to you over time. Okay, I know that pushing Naruto to become friends with Sasuke isn't the canon path. However, some of my plans include not having Sasuke grow to hate Naruto when they get older. I am hoping an early friendship will stop that. I guess you're right, Naruto admits. He looks up at me and a hurt expression flashes over his face before it quickly goes away. Why do you want to get rid of me so badly? No. Not this feeling of guilt again. I don't. I quickly say, waving my hands in front of me. I'm just trying to help you make a friend. Naruto's ears perks up at the word friend and I know that I have just reeled him in. Do you really think he would want to be my friend? He asks. God, I can see it in his eyes how lonely he is and how desperate he is for attention. I nod. I do, but just give it time. He seems like a reserved person and will slowly need to get to know you. Alright. I understand, Naruto tells me as he jumps out of his sit. Thanks for helping me. He runs back down to his previous sit just as Ruki announces that lunchtime is over. During our first conversation with each other, I notice that Naruto understands things and speaks very well for a 5-year-old. I guess growing up alone, you become street smart and pick up things when running around the village. If he follows my advice and doesn't let Sasuke annoy him too much, I think they can become friends over time. Sasuke is going to need a friend a few years from now when Itachi kills his whole clan and disappears. Hopefully, Naruto can be that person that makes Sasuke realize that he was not born to become an Avenger. I know that he will still want to seek out revenge on Itachi, but maybe Naruto can help not make that his top priority, and the goal he obsesses over the most. I really wish I can stop the whole massacring myself, but I know that I can't without drawing unnecessary attention to myself. Despite being a terrible incident, sometimes things like that just need to happen anyways. After class ends for the day, I am surprised to see Hayashi waiting on me. Typically, I do not see him unless I am training or it is dinner. Ota-san! I call, running towards him. I give him a hug and grab his hand. Hayashi gives me a rare genuine smile. You seem to be in a good mood, Hinata-chan, he says. Did you have a good first day at the academy? It was a little boring, I tell him. All Ruki-sensei did is explain what we should expect for the year, and then let us have free time until class ended. You do know that the rest of your academy days will not be as laid back as today, correct? Hayashi asks as we head home. I know, I reply. I am ready for a challenge. If you call learning 2+2 a challenge for me, Hayashi smirks. I like your enthusiasm. Did you talk to any of the children? I shake my head. No, I lied. I sat by myself. While I do not think it is necessary for people to have multiple bonds with each other, you must not exclude yourself, Hayashi tells me. Your first year is the best year to get acquainted with your classmates. I promise I won't exclude myself. I just wanted to pay attention to my instructor today so I can become the best in my class, I say. Hayashi nods in approval. Ah, okay. I see nothing wrong with that. Ha, he's going to be so disappointed 7 years from now. When we arrive home, I find Haruna in the kitchen as she greets me with a small fruit salad as an after-school snack. Hello, Hinata-chan. I am so excited to hear all about your first day at the academy. Her and I sit down at the kitchen table as I repeat the same things I had just told my father. Ah, well, that's okay. You will have more interesting days as the year goes on. I just feel like this year is going to be boring because everything Ruki-sensei told us that we are going to learn sounds really easy, I admit to her. I feel like Haruna and I have this special mother and daughter relationship going on that I can say things to her without receiving a lecture or criticism. She just listens or gives me advice. Sometimes bottling in all of these secrets is tiring and I need to vent at times. You won't know that until you actually dive into the lessons, she tells me. But if these things does come easy to you, your instructor will take notice and send a recommendation to Hokage-sama to promote you a year or two. I shake my head. I really don't want that. I want to be around children my age, she smiles. Well, just think about it this way. If it comes easy to you, you will get your homework done fast and can focus on other things like training or playing with Hanabi-chan. That is true. I haven't thought of that. I have been wanting to learn new things lately besides the gentle fist. Thank you. I will keep that in mind, I tell her. I get up and hand her my empty bowl. Speaking of Hanabi-Amuto, where is she? I want to see her. I put her down for a nap, but you know how she is about naps, Haruna replies. She hates them just as much as you did. I don't blame her. Napping as a kid sucks. You have so much energy. Now, napping as an adult is heaven. I leave the kitchen and tiptoe into Hanabi's room, careful not to wake her. I peep my head into her crib and see two large white eyes staring back at me. She giggles when she recognizes who I am and begins to babble and wiggle her fingers around. You are supposed to be asleep, young lady. I playfully scold as she blows a bubble in response. I smooth down her hair as she grabs on tightly to my thumb and begins to pull. I lightly jerk back as we play tug-of-war for a few seconds before she grew bored and let go. Someone's in a good mood this afternoon. You happy to see your Nei-san? I ask her. She claps her hands together and giggles some more. I laugh as I lean in to kiss her forehead. Well, your Nei-san needs to leave now before Okasan gets mad at me for bothering you because you're supposed to be napping. I begin to back up. I notice her face begin to crumple up as if to cry. I quickly rush back over to her and pat her head as she quickly calms down. Sure, shhhh. I can't stay here forever. How about this? If you stay quiet and go to sleep after I leave, I will play with this evening. Deal? Hanabi cocks her head to the side as she is trying to understand what I am saying. Then, she acts like she understood because she moves her body around to get comfortable and closes her eyes. I take this moment to leave the room, sliding the door shut behind me. Wow, I didn't know I'm a baby whisperer. The next few weeks at the academy came easy to me as I expected. I passed all the homework I was given and any test with above average scores, but they weren't perfect even though I am capable of making them that way. I'm just waiting until next year when we get to learn more shinobi-related things. Whenever I am bored in class, I like to observe my classmates to see how they are progressing. Sakura is wearing a red ribbon in her hair now to pull back her bangs and Ino is sitting beside of her. They pay attention in class and do their work, but I have caught they passing notes to one another and giggling over some girly gossip. Naruto still is breaking his back to get Sasuke to acknowledge him. He has made progress though. Sasuke refers to him as Dobe and makes small talk with him every now and then, so I think things are going well for them as of now. Naruto comes over to sit with during lunch sometimes when Sasuke isn't in the mood to talk to him, and I keep him company. He keeps me entertained by telling me about his latest prank or some other crazy adventure. Every visit is a new story with him. One day after class ended for the day, I am waiting on Ko to pick me up to take me home when Naruto runs up to me. Hey! I am dragging team to the park to play. He tells me excitedly. Do you want to come with us? I shake my head. I really wish I could, but my caretaker should be here any minute to pick me up, I reply. Even if I could go with him, I wouldn't. It seems like Sasuke has agreed, or more like forced to hang out with Naruto outside of the academy, and I do not want to ruin a potential bonding moment. Naruto scrunches up his face in confusion. Huh? A caretaker? What's that? He asks. He is someone that watches me while my parents are busy, I explain. It is a fancier term for babysitter. Oh. Well, why don't cha just say babysitter then? I shrug. My family likes to take things on a more formal approach. Naruto scratches his head. What? I wave my hand. Oh, never mind. Naruto rolls his eyes. You're weird, I chuckle. You tell me that all the time. But it's true, says the one with whiskers on his cheeks. Naruto's face turns red as he rubs his cheeks. Those are birthmarks. They aren't weird. I laugh and am about to tease him some more when I hear Ko call for me. Hinata-sama. You ready to go? As he approaches closer to us, his eyes narrow as he grabs my hand and jerks me away from Naruto. Hinata-sama. You must not associate yourself around this boy. Anger erupts inside of me as Naruto appeared crestfallen by Ko's comment. Why not? I question. He's a bad influence and Hayashi-sama would not be happy with the both of us if I allow you to hang around him. Ko harshly replies as I flinch. He's usually a kind and reserved person, so his reaction is surprising. No matter how much I want to throw a temper tantrum right now, I need to calm down and not make a scene. If I plan on being friends with Naruto in a couple of years from now, I need to play it off as I have not been acquainting myself with him so nobody grows suspicious of me. Even though people such as Hayashi knows the true story about Naruto, he would freak out if he finds out I have been talking to him. He will think lowly of Naruto because of the way he acts, even though it is just to get attention because he's hurting and lonely inside. I sigh as I hold in my true feelings and regretfully allow Ko to guide me away from Naruto. I hope he doesn't hate me now. As we walk, Ko tries to fill in the awkward silence. I hope you are not too mad at me, Hinata-sama. I just need you to understand that. I understand perfectly fine, I tell him coldly. Why you do? He asks, surprised at my response. I nod and simply say, yeah. I really do not want to go home right now. I'm too pissed off at the moment to speak to my father if Ko decides to tell about this little incident to him. Ko-san? Yes, Hinata-sama? Before we go back to the compound, may we stop by the library? I ask. I want to borrow some books to study. Ko gives me a nod of approval. I do not see a problem with that. Hayashi-sama is going to be pleased that you are serious about your shinobi studies. Hayashi can kiss my ass right now. I'm doing this for me, not to impress him. As we enter the civilian library, I march up to the main desk and step onto my tiptoes to see the lady sitting behind it. Good afternoon, little girl. What brings you here today? Ko is about to answer for me, but I speak first. I really need to tell him that he doesn't have to do everything for me and I am capable of doing most things myself. Can you please show or tell me the directions to a section that is age-appropriate for academy students like me to look at books? I ask. The lady blinks in response to my unchildlike question before answering. Sure thing. If you go upstairs, there is a section strictly for academy students in the back right corner. I give her a sincere smile and bow. Thank you so much. I tell her before heading into the direction that she just told me as Ko rushes to keep up with me. Wait up, Hinata-sama, he says behind me, but I ignore him and run up the stairs. I am going to follow my mother's advice and focus on other things during my free time. I am really wanting to get a head start on learning how to control my chakra so I can have it perfected by the time I become a genin. I want to become the best kunoichi I can be before I take the role as the head when I come of age. I do not want to be seen as some weak girl when I have to face my clan when the time comes to change everything. I make it to the section and wait for Ko to catch up before I start browsing. I might be here for a while, I inform him. I do not know exactly what I want to check out just yet. I am telling him this so perhaps he can go away while I search for the right books I need. I want to do all this extra studying and training in secret, which will be hard since I am watched almost all the time. That is why I am wanting to start early since I have limited time throughout my days to learn chakra control and I am not in any rush to learn right now. Ko bows. That is fine. Just do not take too long so we do not worry your parents. I will be a couple of rows down if you need me. He walks off as I quickly begin to scan the bookshelf. Luckily, it is a really tiny section so this will make my search a little easier. I activated my Byakugan so I didn't have to look at each book individually for the title and pulled out 2 books. The Theory of Chakra and Chakra Control for Beginners. I mumbled to myself before shoving them into my backpack. No, I am not stealing these books. I am just going to secretly borrow them and return them 7 years from now. No biggie. While I do remember mostly everything about chakra from the anime/manga, a refresher will not kill me. That is what the first book is for. The second is, hopefully, going to teach me how to control my chakra and ways to increase my reserves. Being a Hyuga, most of us are born with the natural gift of chakra control so this should come to me easily. I have picked up on the gentle fist pretty easily and awakening my Byakugan was a piece of cake, so how hard can controlling chakra be? I pause in front of the classroom door and take a deep breath. Ever since the scene Ko created to me about Naruto yesterday, I have been dreading seeing him today. What if he hates me now? He probably thinks I am going to shun him now like almost every other person in the village. Either way, I can't hover in the hallway forever. I need to go in before I am considered late and my instructor gets upset with me. As I enter the room, I notice Naruto sitting beside of Sasuke, who is participating in his daily hobby and looking out the window. Naruto is poking Sasuke's hair with a pencil and whispering team pissed hey team over and over again. As I walk up the steps to get to my desk, I meet. I give him a warm smile. He opens his mouth to say something, but just widens his eyes at me before casting them away. I frown as I sit down. What kind of reaction was that? He seems hesitate. I wonder why. The next few hours went by slowly as usual. I pretend to take notes, while I am really reviewing the notes I wrote last night from Chakra Control for Beginners. I had decided to hide them at the bottom of my toy chest. Nobody but me ever goes through it anyways. Last night, when I was supposed to be asleep, I stayed up a couple of hours and looked up the first few chapters of the book and took notes on the more important things. It seems like the easiest place to start practicing chakra control is in a person's hands. I assume that is one of the reasons why academy students learn ninjutsus that require hand signs such as the clone jutsu. Clone jutsu is a good one for a child to learn because you have to exert out just enough chakra, not any more or any less, or your clone will come out as a flop. I already have some chakra control practice going on from being able to slip a little into my eyes to activate my Byakugan. I haven't made out a schedule yet on when and where I want to practice chakra control, but I will worry about that later. Before long, Ruki-sensei is telling us that it is lunchtime. Everyone immediately breaks off into their little groups like they have every day for the past month, while I sit alone. As I watch Naruto while I eat, I see that Sasuke must be in one of his moods today because he is ignoring Naruto. During these times, Naruto would just give up and go sit with me to talk. Right now, he is unusually quiet as he picks at his own food. I sigh. I guess I will have to be the one that has to approach the other person first. I get out of my seat as I make my way over to Naruto. I can feel everyone's eyes on me as I do so. They aren't used to the weird quiet kid in the back to actually speak to someone first, or rather get out of her seat at all unless it is to leave class for the day. I tapped Naruto's head and mimicked what he did earlier to Sasuke. Naruto pissed, hey Naruto. Out of the reflection of the window, I swear I see Sasuke smirk before it drops back into its usual frown. Someone call the daimyo. I just made Sasuke smile. Or I am probably just imagining things. Sasuke doesn't believe in smiling. Naruto glances up at me. Yeah? I cross my arms to appear mad. Well, that isn't some way to greet someone when they want you to sit with them. Naruto's face instantly brightens up. Why, you really want me to sit with you still? He asks. I shrug nonchalantly. Yeah, why not? You do sometimes anyways. Don't act like this is the first time. Naruto holds up a finger. But I'm just asking because yesterday, I cover his mouth with my hand. SSHHH, we aren't going to talk about that. Naruto mumbles from behind his covered mouth. I drag him back to my desk and we both sit down. Why aren't we going to talk about yesterday? I surely thought you hated me now since your babysitter doesn't want you to be around me. I arch an eyebrow. That doesn't make any sense. Why would I hate you just because of someone else? Naruto lower his eyes. Every time I tried to play with someone, their parents usually badmouth me to them in front of me or yell at me and call me bad names, he explains, almost in a whisper. He clenches his fist. And I don't understand why they do that. They act like I'm some kind of monster. I've never done anything terrible to anyone. I stay silent for a moment as the pain in his voice hits me. A 5-year-old should never feel like this and be mistreated so badly. I rest my hand on his shoulder. Well, those people are stupid. I don't think you're a monster or anything bad. You're Uzumaki Naruto, and you want to become Hokage one day. Naruto grins as he pumps his fist into the air. You bet I do. I'm going to become the greatest Hokage. That way the whole village will stop disrespecting me and treat me like I'm somebody important. Oh gosh, there's the famous lines that he says 10,000 more times throughout his life. Well, when you do, I will be one of the first to cheer and bow down to you, I promise him. Naruto continues to grin as his happiness radiates like a sunray throughout the classroom. You wouldn't be able to tell that he was upset just a minute ago. You know, you're the first person that actually believes in my dream. Everyone else makes fun of me for it. You just have to prove them wrong, I tell him. Just telling people that you want to become Hokage isn't going to make them listen. You have to work hard towards your goal and people will notice and begin taking you seriously. I do work hard. Naruto protests. You have to do more than just try to get the other villagers to like and pay attention to you. You have to start with yourself first before moving on to your peers. Naruto cocks his head to the side. Start with myself? How do I do that? A good first step is to try your very best while you're at the academy, I explain. I try my best every day. I just don't understand some stuff like arithmetic. That's when you get another instructor to help you or go to the library to study, I say. Naruto scowls at Ruki. She never helps me when I ask. She just gives me the look everyone in the village gives me and ignores me. Some instructor. Yeah, she can be a bitch sometimes, so I see what Naruto is saying. Why don't I tutor you sometime? I ask. I know I said I don't want to be too close to him just yet, but I know Naruto is capable of many things if only someone would have helped him out during his academy years. I know Iruka did, but he didn't enter the picture until Naruto's last 2 years of school, so it was damage already done for Naruto, and he was too far behind to catch up. Are you really good at this stuff? He asks. I nod. Yes, I am. It is all very easy to me. Naruto groans and face plants the desk. How? That's so not fair. He complains. All of it looks like gibberish to me. I can't understand any of it. I giggle. That's why I offered to tutor you so you can understand it. I can tutor you anytime you need me to during lunch or free time. Because everyone in my clan has their noses up my ass to allow me any freedom or privacy to assist him before or after class. Naruto pumps his fist into the air. That sounds good to me. Extra studying doesn't sound very fun to me, but if it helps me get a step closer to becoming Hokage, then I will do it. I clasp my hands together. That's the spirit. Naruto shifts his eyes down towards Sasuke. Now if only you can tutor team to stop being a moody person. I scratch the side of my face with my finger. Heh, I don't think my teaching will work on him, I tease. Speaking of Sasuke, did you two have fun at the park yesterday? Naruto rapidly nods his head. We did. He was actually in a pretty good mood and we played shinobi, kicked the can, and talked for a while as we swung. Yay! I'm glad they are growing closer. If you two had a good time yesterday, why is he like that today? Naruto leans into my ear to whisper. Don't say anything, but he gets in bad mood when he's upset with his brother. I raise my eyebrows in surprise. What does his brother do to him? Naruto shrugs. I really don't know. But all I know is that his brother does this stupid thing where he pokes Sasuke's forehead. Still, I don't know why that would put him in a bad mood. Oh, I get it now. Sasuke does get upset when Itachi pokes his forehead because it is followed by the usual sorry Sasuke. I can't right now. Maybe next timeline. He does that whenever Sasuke wants to do something with Itachi. He really does look up to his older brother, so I can see why that puts him in a bad mood. The next couple of months had its ups and downs. The UPS were that I was still getting good marks in class, my tutoring sessions with Naruto are actually working, and he and Sasuke are becoming really good friends. The downs were that my training sessions at home now involve sparring Neji at times and Haruna is getting sick. You would think I would be excited to be sparring with Neji. Wrong. It is just another way to let the elder and my father compare and increase the tension between the main and branch house. I started to enjoy the sparring sessions at first until everyone realized that Neji is more superior than I am when he totally kicked my ass one day. He didn't hurt me. He was just quicker on his feet, sharper in his attacks, and easily blocked my strikes. While I know Hisashi was amused about the whole situation, Hayashi was furious. He lectured me for a long time about how it is embarrassing for a member of the branch house to outdo the heiress. That day, I truly understood how the original Hinata felt almost every day of her life. After that day, my training schedule increased, but Neji continues to outpower me, and I'm not even mad or annoyed that Neji is better than me. I actually expected it. He isn't called a genius for shits and giggles. He has truly understood the concept of the gentle fist at a young age while I'm still grasping it. Now, I'm not a weakling. I'm pretty good for my age when it comes to the gentle fist from my father's harsh and atrocious training. It's just that Neji is better than I am and I have accepted that. Clearly, Hayashi can't, and I'm starting to emotionally pull away from him for acting so cold to me. The other main reason why his whole demeanor has changed is because of my mother getting sick. Being a child, nobody has told me any details. From my observations, I just know that her sickness was very sudden and is very deadly because she looks worse every day. Her skin has grown very pale and a little gray. Her hair is falling out as her nails are growing brittle, and she's lost a lot of weight from not eating. The glow in her eyes has faded away and she doesn't smile as much anymore. It's like this illness is draining her life source. She literally looks like death, and it terrifies me. From being sick, she cannot breastfeed or be around Hanabi much to take care of her, so that makes the baby in a continuous bad mood. Hanabi is a natural happy baby, so for her to be crying all the time is out of character. I think she senses something is wrong with her mother since she, and Hayashi, is hardly ever around, and that breaks my heart. That baby needs her parents, and so do I. I don't like coming home from the academy anymore. I'm always walking into a grave atmosphere. I come home, do my homework, get yelled at by Hayashi as I train, eat dinner alone, play with Hanabi, and try to push all these troubles to the back of my mind as I concentrate on my chakra books. Same routine every day. However, that routine changed one night. As I was training with my father, with Neji and Hisashi watching from the sidelines, it was interrupted as a servant ran into the room without permission. Hayashi-sama! He cries frantically. Hayashi narrows his eyes as I stop for a quick water break. This better be important. The servant gives my father a sad look. It's Haruna-sama. Is she dying? I spit out my water and drop my glass to the ground as it scatters into a million pieces. I feel my heart begin to beat fast as a lump forms in my throat. What did he just say? Hayashi looks at his servant with frightful eyes before pushing past him and sprinting out of the room. I run after him. I follow him down several hallways and into their bedroom. My mother is laying on her bed, with people surrounding her, coughing loudly. Blood spatters into her hand as I close my eyes to avoid the scene. She's dying. My mother cannot be dying. I know she wasn't shown in the anime/manga, but I didn't know she dies. I open my eyes as tears begin to stream down them. I feel a hand rest on my shoulder and look up to see Hisashi giving me a sympathetic look. Neji emerges to my right as he reaches out to grab my hand. I ignore their comfort as I glance up at my father. He's speechless as he pitifully stares at his dying wife. He breaks out of his trance and walks over to her. He bends down by her side and caresses her cheek. She gives him a small smile and whispers something in his ear. Hayashi gets back up. Bring me Hanabi-chan. Now! He barks as a lady scrambles out of the room to retrieve my baby sister. Hinata-chan. Come over here. Neji and Hisashi let go of me as I run over to my parents and climb onto the bed. I crawl over to the pillow next to my mother's head to get a better look at her. Hey, are you really dying? I ask, wiping away my tears. Haruna smoothed down my hair and runs her hand down my face as she gives me her usual bright smile. Hinata-chan, you know I love you very much, right? I nod my head. Good. You need to listen what I am about to tell you since I think you are mature enough to hear it. Yes, I am dying. However, I need you to listen to me and stay strong. Stay strong for your Ota-san, stay strong for Hanabi-chan, and stay strong for the rest of our clan. Especially to Hanabi-chan. As she speaks, the lady comes back in with Hanabi and hands her to my mother, who begins to cradle her. Hanabi quietly looks into her eyes. She is going to grow up without a mother in her life, and I need you to be there for her and help guide her. Be the best niece and any younger sibling will be lucky to have. Always be there for her and take care of her. She's going to look up to you, so you must never give her a reason not to. Be kind and gentle to her, but teach her how to be strong and independent. She's going to get lonely and confused at times when she sees other people with their mothers, and you will be the person who will comfort her and tell her everything's okay. Her lips begin to quiver as tears falls from her eyes. Hinata-chan, you need to promise me that you will continue to be a good and obedient child to your father. Continue to succeed at the academy, and I know you are going to grow up to be a strong kunoichi and leader of our clan. Always treat your peers with kindness and respect, and always stand up for what you believe in. Don't eat too much cinnamon buns, and try to get a good night's rest for me every once in a while. I know you hate to sleep. I giggle at her little joke as I hear tears splash onto my clothes. Continue being the kind and sweet girl you are. Never change no matter what anybody says to you. I know you are going to do big things one day, and know that I will always be watching you and Hanabi-chan. I will always be listening if you need to talk. I will always be by your side when you are having good days and bad. I will still be with you through everything. I will always love you, Hinata-chan. She looks down at Hanabi and kisses her forehead. And I will always love you, Hanabi-chan. I know you will grow up to be a bright and excited child. You are always so happy and curious about everything. I can't wait to watch you grow up and see how lovely you become. Make sure to always listen to your sister and father, and try not to pick up your sister's bad habits of eating sweets and not sleeping. Make sure you do your best at the academy also, and make friends who will support you and have your back. I see you doing great things with your life and can't wait to see what kind of kunoichi you will be. She looks back at me once more. Hinata-chan, please take care of everybody and never change. I love you so much, and I will always be watching over you. I wrap my arms around her neck as she wiggles out a free arm to hug me back. I love you too, I sob. We stay like this for a few minutes before she pulls back and kisses my forehead and smooths down my hair once more. The lady picks up Hanabi as high as she reaches over and lifts me up. The realization officially hit me that this is goodbye, and I will never see her again after this. I will never wake up to her breakfast again, or hearing her sing in the shower. I will never see her smile again, or hear her laugh. I will never be able to tell her about my days and problems anymore, or hear her advice. She's never going to kiss me goodnight ever again, or tell me she loves me. She will never see me have my first friend. I will never be able to tell her about my first kiss, my first date, my first love, my first promotion, my first mission. She's going to miss Hanabi's first steps, first words, first day of school. She's going to miss a lot of firsts, and I will never get to enjoy experiencing those with her. She can't die. I don't want her to die. She's my mother. She isn't supposed to die. Hayashi hands me over to Hisashi as I wrap my arms around his neck. Take her to her room and watch over her until I get back, he say before walking back over to Haruna. I guess her dying is affecting him if he's going to let his own brother actually watch me instead of Ko or a nanny. Hisashi simply nods before taking me to my room with Niji trailing behind him. I continue to sob into Hisashi's shoulder as he lets go of me to put me on the ground, but I keep holding onto him. I don't care if he hates me right now. I need a shoulder to cry on, literally and metaphorically, and I just want to feel comforted right now. Hisashi must have sensed this because he allows me to stay in my position as he sits down on my bed. Niji climbs up to join us. Your mother is going to a better place now, Hisashi says to me after a few quiet minutes. I keep my head buried into his shoulder, pretending that he didn't make such a cliché comment. She's not going to feel any more pain or sorrow. She is going to be set free forever, and she will be happier. He pris me off of his shoulder and stares me straight in the eyes. You need to stay strong like she advised you and not break her promises. I wipe my tears away and I sigh heavily. I do want to stay strong, but I think I will need some time. Hisashi gives me a kind smile. That is understandable. Just remember what she said and never forget it. She loves you very much and is entrusting her will to you to carry on her wishes. I nod as I look away, my chest swelling up with grief. I do not want to speak again in fear of having another sobbing episode. I make eyes with Niji as he raises his eyebrows in worry while trying to give me a reassuring smile. He grabs a hold of my hand. Everything will be okay, Hinata-sama, he tells me. I will always be here for you. Even though his mother died when he was just a baby, I don't think he exactly knows what is going on. He just knows that I'm in pain and he's trying his best to protect me from it. I give him a thankful smile. Thank you, Niji and I-san. I'm going to need you. The atmosphere at home in the following days were somber. After my mother's private funeral, my father spiraled into depression. He hasn't been eating, sleeping, or socializing much with others. He has cancelled all of my training sessions for the week and has locked himself in his office, ordering his servants and nannies to watch over me and Hanabi. I have requested to have Niji by side whenever he was free so I didn't have to spend my time with people I hardly knew or My own feelings have been bottled up ever since the day my mother died. After my talk with Hizashi, I realized that I do need to stay strong. Especially since my father's mental state is unfit to take care of his children or clan at the moment. Whenever I am not at school or with Niji, I am spending my time with Hanabi. She's 5 months old now, so she's going to be talking and walking in a few months and needs some proper guidance from someone, and I want that person to be me. I've been doing things such as repeating certain words to her, reading books, and showing her different shapes and colors just to let her start recognizing and hearing them. From the anime/manga, I know she becomes intelligent, independent, and gifted, and I just want to give her a head start. I haven't told Naruto what happened to my mother yet. I feel like I shouldn't because his life is already tragic enough and I'm one of the few people he can actually open up to and be himself without feeling any negative emotion. I don't want to give him the burden that he has to make me feel better and worry about me. It might be a stupid reason, but that's just how I feel. I will tell him later when the pain of my mother's death has subsided and I can speak about it without crying. However, someone from my class did find out about my mother's death and surprised me one morning by approaching me about it. I am sitting alone at my desk when I notice Sasuke passing his and making his way towards me. Naruto isn't here yet, and he usually sits by himself either way, so I am wondering why he is coming to me. He stands beside my desk and shoves his hands into his pockets. He has an odd look on his face as he seems to be struggling to find the right words to speak. I decide to initiate the conversation first. "Good morning, Sasuke-kun," I greet. "What's up?" Sasuke looks slightly startled that I spoke first. "I heard about your mother," he tells me. "I just want to give you my apologies." He softens his features. Wait, why is Sasuke saying these things? I mean, it is respectful to apologize for someone's loved one's death. But the kid has never said one word to me. He smirked at my joke towards Naruto a couple of months ago, but that's the only interaction we've ever had, and that movement was an indirect one. "Thank you," I reply politely. He nods before walking off to his seat. I just gaze at his back in confusion. What was that all about? "Stop!" Hayashi yells as Niji quickly gets out of his fighting stance while I pick myself up from the ground and brush off my clothes. Niji and I were having a sparring match where he promptly kicked my ass like usual. "Hinata! How many times are you going to allow yourself to get knocked down before you learn your mistakes?" "Oh shit. He didn't use any honorifics." He's pissed. I look nervously at him. Ever since my mother's death a year ago, my father has changed. He's become more cold and harsh. He is always criticizing and yelling at me during my training sessions and then isolates himself in his office for the rest of the day. Besides my sessions, I only see him during dinner with Hanabi. Even then, he stays mostly tense and silent. If he's in a good mood, he will play with Hanabi some and make small talk with me before retreating back to his office. Out of everybody, Haruna's death has hit him the hardest, and I understand that. What I don't understand is why he is treating his own children like crap. Hayashi narrows his eyes. Well, I do not answer as I avert my eyes. Times like these is when I learn to just avoid his verbal lashings and just take it. There's no use to be talking back because he never listens and continues to lecture me. Hayashi sighs and rubs his temples. How can I expect you to rule this clan one day when you can't simply respond back to me? Or comprehend the mistakes you are making? Or beat your opponent? Why does he have to act so melodramatic? I'm 6. I am not ruling the clan anytime soon. Out of anyone, he should understand that I am still building up my stamina and strength from the illness that made my body feeble. I am doing well in my classes and I have been picking up on the gentle fist pretty well. I just need to get stronger and work on my fighting tactics. It isn't the end of the world. Hayashi gets up and heads for the door. You two are dismissed. I expect different results tomorrow, Hinata, he growls as he leaves the room, slamming the door behind him. Niji gives me an uneasy look. Is it wise for you to just ignore Hayashi-sama like that? I shrug. I really don't care. If I speak back, all he will do is brand my words as excuses and continue to yell at me. Should I start going easy on you so you do not get fussed at? Niji asks. He's always trying to protect me in some way. I shake my head. No, don't do that. That wouldn't help me out at all. I need you to continue going hard on me or I will never improve. Now, I wouldn't mind if he relaxes a little because I always leave our match with bruises and sore body parts. But I know I can't allow that. Well, maybe I can help you out, Niji tells me. I don't like when Hayashi-sama acts so harsh towards you. What are you struggling with that I can possibly help you improve on? I can avoid, block, and defend myself all day, I start. However, my troubles begin when I have to go on the offensive. I lack power and fluidity behind my strikes. When I figure out an opening, I feel my reaction time is slow because the stances I am in makes me feel awkward and sluggish. Because of that, I end up getting attacked first. I know these are some of the reasons why original Hinata struggled with the gentle fists traditional fighting style for so long before finally creating her own style of it. Maybe I should get a head start on that instead of limiting myself. Niji's mind goes into thinking mode. You and I already know that you lack stamina and strength, but you are already working on those areas, so I'm not going to worry about that. You seem to be in the correct stances since you never get lectured for that. But you do need to work on your fighting tactics. I resist the urge to roll my eyes. I already knew all of that. I'm just going to go with my idea and learn original Hinata's fighting style. It was badass in my eyes when she performed the protecting 8 trigrams 64 palms for the first time. Maybe you can help me with that then, I tell him. Wanna start now? I have nothing else to do, Niji nods. Yes, for a 7-year-old, Niji's not a bad instructor. In just 20 short minutes, he has made me realize that my attacking methods are sloppy. I focus too much on being on the defensive, so when I go into attack I try to recoil back into that position as fast as possible. He tried to get me to glide more on my feet instead of awkwardly moving them, but my body wouldn't allow me in these current stances. Oh well. At least I know what I need to work on now. If Niji was just a few years older than me, I would request for him to train me instead of my father. The next day at school, I can barely move from being so sore from yesterday. I swear if Hayashi tries to make me train today I'm going to throw a temper tantrum. I've been training for a week straight now and I feel like I'm not getting a break unless I beat Niji. I wish he would just get over that and focus on my positives for a little while. I mean, I'm at the top of my class right now. Have I heard any compliments about that? No, the only reason I'm at the top of my class is because the first 2 years at the academy is written work and learning basic school subjects, and all that is easy to me. Our 3rd year is when we start learning about chakra, learning our first jutsu, and sparring one another, so I am going to slip down to an average student when next year rolls around. I'm not holding back because I think I'm going to surpass everybody. I already know that I won't. I just do not want to change things like I have mentioned before. If I show my instructors next year that I already know everything about chakra and I am starting to learn how to control it at a young age, I'm going to be watched, and that's not a good thing. I am not become Orochimaru's next experiment, or become one of Danzo's emotionless soldiers. Screw that, what I am becoming is Naruto's friend. I know I said I wouldn't until later, but the kid is awesome. Who wouldn't want to be friends with him? He always shares with me the most entertaining jokes and stories, tells me all the pranks he's going to pull before he goes through with them to get my opinion on them, and is always there for me when I need him. He somehow found out about my mother's death, probably from Sasuke, and effortlessly cheered me up. He's his own little ray of sunshine and I can't help to feel nothing but happiness around him. He's a good stress reliever from my exhausting life as Hayashi's daughter. What I haven't become is Sasuke's friend or acquaintance or anything. After that day, over a year ago, when he randomly came up to me and apologized about my mother's death and then walked off, I thought that would be the beginning of some sort of relationship between us. Sasuke just doesn't go up to people and talk to them without reason, so I was very confused when he never spoke or looked at me again. I asked Naruto if Sasuke has ever talked about me, but he said no. So, I have just finally came to the conclusion that he was just trying to be polite, since family matters a lot to him, and was showing me some sympathy. I mean, I'm not upset or disappointed over it. It was just a little odd, but then again everything about the Naruto verses. Today's lesson is boring as hell, so I am glad when class finally ends for the day. Naruto decided to sit with Sasuke during lunch since he was in a good mood, so I ate alone. I never mind though when he does that. He and Sasuke have gotten very close over the past year and have a relationship that contains a mixture of brotherhood, best friends, and rivalry. They argue with each other all the time and call each other names. Well, it's mostly one-sided since Naruto is very hot-headed, and are always trying to outdo one another. But they also joke around and hang out outside of school, and I've noticed the fangirls getting jealous of Naruto sometimes. They want to know his secret to how he got Sasuke to stop looking out a window and open up to him, and actually making him smile and laugh. I want to know the secret also, well sort of, because I didn't think Sasuke believed in smiling in public. I thought he liked acting emo. I could make up an evil rumor that Sasuke only likes boys to break their little hearts, but I don't think that would settle very well with him. When I go outside, I find Ko waiting on me. I've always wondered, does he even have a life besides being my caretaker? He's a 15-year-old genin whom I never seen go on a mission or hang out around his team. He seems to be always at the compound to take me to and from school and then watch over until I am done with my studies. That must be a sucky life. Hi, Ko-san. I greet as I take his hand. He smiles. Good afternoon, Hinata-sama. You seem to be in a good mood. I passed my test today with a perfect score, I tell him, slightly irritated. He is acting like I'm always in a bad mood. I mean, when I am around him I usually am, because he likes to live up Hayashi's asshole and tell him literally everything I do. It is annoying. Again? That's great. He praised. Well, at least he compliments me on my achievements, unlike my father. That's one of the few things I like about the kid. I shrug. It's always easy. I can't wait to start learning justice next year. I bet those will come easy to you as well, Ko tells me. See, this is how children like Niji and Sasuke get swelled heads and become arrogant. They get praised too much, and then they think they are the greatest beings to ever walk the earth. How does he know that the jutsu will come easy to me? What if I struggle with them? He's going to feel stupid then for giving me false encouragement. I hope not, I admit to him. I want a challenge. If you say so, Ko says. Ugh, I give up. These people needs to stop protecting my feelings and serving me things on silver platter, or I will never grow to be an independent kunoichi. Good thing I will be able to start gaining more freedom when I turn 8. Only 2 more years. Before we head to the compound, Hashirama wants me to go into the village and buy you your first official weapon. A mixture of excitement and fear overwhelms me. Why? I ask. I'm afraid I might somehow hurt myself. I've seen how sharp those kunai knives are. He wants you to get a head start and start practicing with weapons a little, he explains to me. Sometimes, shinobi fights with weapons. Basic weaponry like kunais and shurikens are great for deflecting, long-range attacks, and for ambushing. Every shinobi has to have some sort of training in bukujutsu. It is a necessity. Isn't he afraid I'm going to poke my eye out or something? I ask. Only in the Naruto verse is it okay to have a young child wield a knife around. What? No, Ko replies. Do not worry. Hashirama would not entrust weapon training on you if he did not feel that you were not ready. Can I pick out any kind of weapon I want? Within reason, you may. Okay. I want explosive tags then. No, damn it. Always ruining my fun. Ko and I walk into a store and begin browsing the shelves. While I am not interested in learning bukujutsu, I do know that shinobi have some skill in it. If I'm going to get familiar with any weapon, I am thinking about choosing kunai knives and some wire. Being a close-range taijutsu fighter, my opponent might be out of my range sometimes. Hurling a kunai with a string of wire attached to it can circle around the opponent and trap them so I can bring them closer to me. I've always wondered why Hyugas never incorporated long-range attacks or ninjutsus to their fighting style. I know the gentle fist is a very difficult style to study, but it wouldn't hurt to throw in one long-range attack in there. I guess the 8 trigrams. Air palm is the best they can do even though it is a mid-range attack. I'm going to look down a different aisle, I tell Ko. Okay, but do not stray too far, he says. I go down the next few aisles and search for some wire. I've already found my pack of kunai I want, but finding wire is almost impossible at this point. I can't find it anywhere. I go down the last aisle and have my eyes set on tunnel vision as I look down at the shelves as I walk. Suddenly, my body collides into something hard as I stumble backwards while grabbing onto a shelf to catch my balance. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I apologize quickly. You need to pay more attention to your surroundings, a male voice replies as I widen my eyes. Itachi Uchiha is standing in front of me with little Sasuke right next to him. I look at him as I remain speechless. The loving older brother of Sasuke, who is a talented shinobi and powerful enough to massacre his whole clan, is right in front of me. He is also cute. Hey, don't judge me. I resist the urge to fangirl. He was my favorite male character in the anime/manga. Okay, calm down. He's not an adult yet. He's only an 11-year-old kid who is chunin and can totally kick your ass. Behave yourself. I'm sorry, I say again after recovering from my mini internal session with myself. I was just looking for some wire. Itachi points to a small bin beside of him. They are right in there. We were actually stocking up on some as well. Oh, thank you, I awkwardly reply. Damn, I know this kid is more mature than I can ever dream about being. But he's stale. Where's his personality? I do not mean to pry, but why is someone as young as you interested in wire? He asks. Young? Says the one who put himself through reckless training at 4 years old. If I connect it to a kunai I can use it for long-range attacks, I explain. Is it that big of a deal? It is interesting that you to come up with that tactic, Itachi tells me. I frown. Is he making fun of me? I ignore his comment as I glance over at his little brother. Hey, Sasuke-kun. It is nice to see you, I tell him. Sasuke nods his head. You too, are you a friend of my brother? Itachi asks. I'm in his class, I say, avoiding his question. My name is Hinata. Itachi raised an eyebrow. Hinata? He looks over at Sasuke. Is this the girl that you talk about? Okay, is he that oblivious or is he looking teasing his younger brother? I give Sasuke an odd look as his face grows red and he turns his head to the side scowling. Talking about me? Why in the world would Sasuke talk about me? I can see that Sasuke is refusing to respond to his brother, so I change the subject. Well, it was great seeing you, Sasuke-kun, I tell him, if though he continued to look away in embarrassment. I turn to Itachi. It was nice meeting you, crap. I can't say his name. I'm not supposed to know him. He gives me a kind smile. Itachi, I nod nervously. Yes, Itachi. I grab a pack of wire and stuffed it in my shopping basket. I must go back to my caretaker now. You two have a wonderful afternoon. I now and scurry off before they can say anything back. Damn it. I can't believe I almost slipped up back there. You can let your fangirl crush on Itachi get to you. Focus on Sasuke. Why would he be talking about me? I don't even speak to the kid. Maybe I should ask him tomorrow. I find Ko and rush over to his side. I'm ready to go. I found the wire. I tell him. He gives me a confused look. Are you alright, Hinata-sama? You are breathing heavily. I wave my hand. I'm just excited to get home and start training. I tug on his arm. Let's go. And get the hell away from these Uchiha boys before my head explodes from all these confusing thoughts. I arrive earlier than usual to class the next day. I want to ask Sasuke what he has been saying about me to his brother or family. I do not speak to him. I am not even interesting enough to be talked about. I'm the strange and quiet kid that sits in the back of the class and is friends with the village outcast. Apparently I have weird eyes, thanks Naruto, but that isn't worth talking about. I walk up to his desk and sit down beside of him. He looks away from the window and arches an eyebrow. What? I roll my eyes. Good morning to you too. What do you want? He asks in a deadpan voice. Well, I was planning on asking him in a way that wouldn't embarrass him. But I changed my mind. So, you seem to talk about me a lot to your brother. I wink at him as his face turns red and he looks away like he did yesterday. Hey, don't be shy. Sasuke shoots me a dirty look as I cover my mouth with my hand to hold back a giggle. Shut up. He hisses. Stop saying such idiotic things out loud. Oops. It looks like I hit a nerve. Serves you right for being a jerk. I smirk. All I want to know is what you say about me, I reply back in an innocent voice. Sasuke narrows his eyes. It is none of your business, he snaps. I lean in closer to him. I know that will bug him. It is my business if you are talking about me, I tell him. He leans away from me and glares. What are you doing? I lean back. Sorry, I have no respect for personal space, I joke. Sasuke rolls his eyes. If I tell you, will you leave me alone? I lift my pinky finger. Pinky promise. Sasuke just stares at me. Pinky promise? I nod. Yeah. We wrap our pinkies around each other. It solidifies a promise. Sasuke pinches his nose. I've never heard of that before. You're weird, I grin. That's not the first time I've been called that. Sasuke sighed and holds out his pinky. We intertwine our pinkies before he quickly pulls away. We are never doing that again, he tells me. Just tell me what you say about me, I say. Sasuke grows slightly red again and averts his eyes. I don't speak about you a lot. Only sometimes, he says. I just mentioned to my brother that you're the only girl in my class that doesn't obsess over me. I move my hands in a circular motion. And? I know there is more. I can see it on his face. He rolls his eyes. I also tell him that you're pretty funny when you make fun of Naruto, and you're not annoying. I widen my eyes. If Sasuke tells you that he doesn't find you annoying, you better take that damn compliment to heart. He is hard to impress. Oh, and he finds me funny. Yes. I'm flattered that you say nice things about me, I admit. But why would you? We've never spoken before. Sasuke turns his back towards me and stares out the window. I'm not saying anything else. I already told you what I say about you, so drop it. Wait. Why are you talking about Hinata-chan for? I hear Naruto ask loudly behind me. And to whom? I begin to crack up as Sasuke shoots Naruto the scariest glare ever. Shut up, baka. He growls. Why are you getting mad at me? I didn't do anything wrong. Naruto whines. Sasuke crossed his arms and ignores him. Naruto shifts his eyes over to me. What's his problem? I shrug and stand up to get out of his seat. I will let you ask him yourself. Naruto gives me a mischievous grin. Okay. I know he loves to bug the shit out of Sasuke when he's in a bad mood. I allow Naruto to have his fun as I step aside and head up to my desk. Before I can sit down, someone harshly taps on my shoulder. I spin around and see Ino and Sakura standing there with their hands on their hips. They didn't look happy. I arch an eyebrow. Hi, what did you do to Sasuke that made him so upset? Ino asks in an angry tone. I glance down at a brooding Sasuke and back at her. He's always like that, I tell him. Don't make fun of Sasuke. Sakura shrieks as I take a step back in surprise. The hell? What's their problem? I hold my hands up. Whoa. Calm down, I tell her. Don't tell me to calm down. I will not allow you to talk about Sasuke like that, I groan. Look, I really don't want to mess around with a bunch of bratty fangirls like you two right now. Ino raises an eyebrow. Is that a threat? I throw my hands up. How was that a threat? These girls are crazy. I didn't think they were this bad over Sasuke. Just leave Sasuke alone. Ino yells, pointing a finger at my face. Oh, hell no. That's crossing the line. I grab her finger and twist it downwards as she yells in pain. How about you leave me alone if you know what's best for you? I warn. Now that's a threat. Okay, I'm not going to back my threat up and hit Sakura and Ino. But I know that I can beat the shit out of them if I felt like it. I know in this universe, I would probably get rewarded for it instead of punished. I'm sorry. Let go of me. Ino begs as tears begin to stream down her face. I let go of her finger as Sakura grabs her arm and drags her to their fangirl circle. I sigh. What idiots. I feel someone staring at me and notice Naruto and Sasuke looking up at me. I am pretty sure they just witnessed the scene that just occurred. Naruto appears to be confused as he scratches the top of his head. Sasuke is smirking at me and appears amused before turning his attention back to Naruto. He seems to be telling Naruto now what just happened so he isn't confused anymore. I guess since, from my perspective, I am not on Sasuke's shit list, I see a potential friendship forming in the near future. Yes, I guess you can say I am abandoning my idea of not being friends with anyone until later. I mean, I highly doubt things are going to change just because I decide to make some friends. I sling my wrist as I flick a kunai towards Neji. He jumps out of the way before I manipulate the wire attached to the kunai to move. It wraps itself around Neji's leg a couple of times and I jerk my arm back. The wire tightens as Neji flies in the air towards me. I recoil my palm back and strike him in the shoulder as he crashes to the ground. I bite the wire in half and I jump backwards to get out of range. Neji quickly gets up, throws the wire away from him, and gets back into his fighting stance. I smirk as I begin to feel confident. I actually trapped Neji and landed attack on him for once. I hope Hayashi is finally proud of me. I snap out of my thoughts as I dodge Neji's palm and block another one. I pocket my weapons as I spin around and throw a low kick towards his feet. He jumps into the air and I kick my leg upwards to follow him. It almost makes contact as he does a backflip just in time to get out of the way. As he lands, he pushes forward on his feet and springs over to me. I raise my arms up to block the attack heading towards my shoulder, but he switches up last second and makes contact with me in my chest. I am knocked a few steps back as I slip out of my defensive stand to catch my breath. Neji takes that opportunity to hit my shoulder and arm before spinning around and throws a roundhouse kick towards me. I recover from last two attacks and manage to stop his kick by grabbing it. I kick his back leg to make him lose his balance as I throw his other leg down. He stumbles around as I knee him in the chest and strike him multiple times before sending him to the ground. I pull out my kunai again and hold it to his throat as I pin him down with my knees and free arm. Neji gives me a nod of approval as my face brightens up and I grin. I won. I actually beat Neji. Enough, Hayashi says calmly as I remove my kunai from Neji's neck and help him stand up. We both bow towards each other and face my father. He's so stone-faced that I can't read him at all. You seem to have improved the past 2 weeks. I am happy to see it has finally clicked in your head and you are working on your mistakes. Actually, Neji has been training with me the past couple of weeks, but I will take the credit. He would get pissed if he finds out a member of the branch house is helping me improve on my flaws. Thank you, I say. However, you are far from meeting my standards, Hayashi says, destroying all my hopes and dreams. Well, not really. But he really knows how to build a person up and then tear them down. I advise you to continue practicing on your own time. Yes, sir, I mumble. Hayashi looks over at Neji. You are dismissed. Neji bows. Thank you, Hayashi-sama. He leaves the room. I watch him slid the doors shut before turning back to Hayashi. I can tell he has more to say to me since he hasn't dismissed me just yet. What is it, Ota-san? I ask. I swear he gives me a sad glance before putting his cold mask back on. I'm hard on you for a reason, Hinata-chan, he tells me. That's random. I cock my head to the side. What do you mean? I see a lot of potential in you and believe you can be a great head one day, he admits as I soak in his compliment. He doesn't give them out often, so I am hanging on to every word. I just feel like you are holding yourself back. Holding myself back? Why would I do that? I shake my head. I don't think I am, I say. I try my best all the time. Hayashi furrows his eyebrows. Maybe it is just my speculation then. Still, I feel you can do better. You can be better. You are a gifted child and I just want you to embrace it. Me? Gifted? Ha! Funny. Not compared to Neji. But if Hayashi is admitting to me that he thinks I am gifted, then I believe him a little. He has no reason to lie to me and he doesn't say things for the heck of it. Hayashi turns around and heads toward the door. We are done for the day, he says. I will be in my study if you need me. He leaves the room and a lonely sensation grows inside me. I miss him comforting me and acting like his old self. Him complimenting me just now has had me craving for more attention and affection. He doesn't show me Ethier anymore, and I miss his fatherly love towards me. Niji's dad always show his love to his own son. Why can't my father act like that to his own daughters? Both men have lost their wives, but I guess everyone copes differently. I sigh as I trudge out of the room and walk down the hallway. I try to not think of my mother much since her death. I do not like feeling sad or miserable, and I hate when people take pity on me. Every time someone does, I usually ignore the comment or politely reply back and then brush them off. I have been repressing any negative emotions and have been trying to keep my promise and stay strong for everyone, especially my sister. I creep into her room and peek over her crib to find her peacefully sleeping. I just stare at her. I'm thinking selfishly right now. Here I am yearning for my father's affection when Hanabi has never experienced it. The only attention he gives my sister is when he feeds her and sees her at dinner. Basically, her own caretaker is raising her. How sad. That's why I try my best to be around her. When I am always playing with her, making her laugh, and showing her love. I hope she doesn't forget those moments when she gets older. I don't want her to grow up to be emotionless or angry at the world because she was never shown any love and affection. I reach down and lightly smooth down her hair and tiptoe out of the room, silently sliding the door behind me. Sometimes, I wish Hizashi was mine and Hanabi's father, and that Niji was my older brother. I think I would be much happier around them living as a branch member instead of leaving the luxuries as a main member and feeling lonely. I stop walking and just stand in the middle of the hallway. Man, I'm bored. Hanabi is sleeping, Niji is doing something at his house, and my father is hiding in his study. I really do not feel like reading my chakra books until bedtime, since I do that almost every night, or training anymore for the day. If I was allowed to hang out with Naruto outside of the academy, I would be with him right now. I'm not close enough to Sasuke yet to possibly pay him a visit, if my father even allowed it, to see him. I sigh. I guess I will just go to my room and take a nap or something. Days like these is when I wish my mother was still alive. Everything would be normal again. Ugh, I miss her. Hinata-chan, my father greets as I walk into his study. He points at the empty chair in front of his desk. Sit. He does not look happy. I quickly skim through my recent memories as I walk over to the chair. I haven't done anything wrong. I have been improving in my training, I am making good marks at the academy, I have been nice to my sister, and I have been arriving home on time since I have had my newfound freedom, which was granted to me by my father when I turned 8 years of age a few months ago. So, why does he look so disappointed right now? I sit down and nervously look up at him, waiting for him to speak. Ever since I have entrusted you with this new freedom of yours, what have you been doing with it? I give him a puzzled look. Why is he asking that? I have been training or hanging out with friends, I answer honestly. Would one of those friends be Uzumaki Naruto? Hayashi asks. I freeze on the spot. Shit. What should I do? Lie. No, he has a reason for asking me this. He must know something. I lower my eyes. What would happen if I say yes? He sighs. I told you that you were not allowed to hang around that boy. How did you know I am friends with him? I ask. I have my ways, he replies. He has his ways? What is he doing? Spying on me. Oh wait. My heart drops. Have you been spying on me? I ask, praying that he hasn't been. Hayashi doesn't speak for a moment. I widen my eyes in realization. Wait, you're not personally spying on me. You are sending someone else to take that job. You don't trust me. My father narrows his eyes. Hinata-chan. Calm down. I clench my fists as a spark of anger ignites inside of me. Why? Why don't you trust me? I ask. I swallow a lump of betrayal down my throat. I have done nothing to break your trust. I try to impress you all the time. I train hard just to hear you say you're proud of me. But you never do. I study all the time to get perfect marks just to hear you tell me I'm doing a great job. But you never do. I hear myself starting to get louder. I try to be the perfect daughter, but nothing I do is ever good enough for you. You're always criticizing me and putting me down. You point out my flaws and never help me work on them. Hayashi slams his fist down on his desk. Hinata! Be quiet. That's enough. I did not call you in here to talk about this. Stop trying to change the topic at hand. I shut my mouth and avert my eyes. That rant just lifted a huge weight off my shoulder, even though I didn't get to complete it. But why should I listen to him? He never listens to me. Obviously, he doesn't trust me anymore, for some reason, so why should I respect him? I have had enough of his shit. No, I will not be quiet, I growl. Hayashi arches an eyebrow. He seems surprised by my reaction. Excuse me? His precious little heiress has never talked back to daddy before. Well, things are about to change. I close my eyes and take a deep breath to compose myself. I am not one to get angry so quickly, but everyone has their breaking point, and I do not want to totally erupt just yet. I open my eyes and stare intensely into my father's eyes. If you can give me the reason why I am not allowed to hang around Naruto-kun, then I will drop the subject right now, I tell him. Hayashi matches my stare with the same level of intensity. I cannot disclose that with you. I cross my arms. Then, I'm going to continue to hang around him. No, you are not. Yes, I am. Hinata, I am your father, and you will listen to me. Hayashi snaps. I continue to test my limits as I shake my head. Ota-san, I begin, calmly. I always listen to you. But I will not listen to you when it comes to shunning another human being. He has done nothing to deserve the kind of treatment everyone gives him. The villagers act like he's a monster or something. I pause as I see Hayashi's eyebrow twitch at my last comment. But he isn't one. He's never done anything malicious or terrible before. The only thing he is guilty of is playing pranks and acting like a nuisance just to get other people's attention. But that's because he is lonely. He has nobody to come home to. Nobody to love. Nothing. Sasuke-kun and I are his only friends. Hayashi appears to be deep in thought before sighing again. You truly have inherited your mother's kindness, he says. I ignore the minor feeling of hurt at her mentioning. You are wise beyond your years. I understand where you are coming from, Hinata-chan. I really do. But I cannot have you hang around this boy for the sake of our clan. You know, I really did get my hopes up for a moment. I thought I had changed his mind and he will finally put his children's needs before the clan's. However, I was wrong yet again. Controlling the rage that is about to unleash, I tried to convince him once more. But it will be good for the clan if I keep good ties with Naruto-kun. And why is that? I smile. Because he is going to be Hokage one day. When the day comes, I will be one of the first people there to bow down to him. Hayashi narrows his eyebrows. Do not say such foolish things. That dream will never become a reality for a person like that. Yes, it will. God, I've been in the body of a child for too long. I am even arguing like one now. Always trying to get the last word in. Stop thinking and speaking such nonsense. Hayashi suddenly yells, making me jump. You are not allowed to hang around that boy. I mean it. I already get hell from the elders in our clan's council because a child of the branch house is more talented than the heiress. They keep saying my brother should have been born first since Niji-san apparently deserves the title as head of the Hyuga clan over you. Do you know how much of a fool I feel when I hear that? Now I'm getting hell because you want to hang out with a troubled, obnoxious, and mannerless boy who has no talent at all in becoming a shinobi. Wow. Here I thought I was at my breaking point this whole time. My father has just proven me wrong. I've never seen him so upset. He's always so calm and collected. Rage overwhelmed me as my vision is blinded by red. I shake myself out of my daze as I scoot forcefully out of my chair and take a few steps back. I don't care what the elders think. I yell back. Neither should you. You are the head, not them. Act like one. However, you are my father. Act like one also. With that, I ran out of the room, not bothering to listen for my father's response. Probably some more self-pity yelling. I burst through the courtyard and out the compound's gates. Without activating my Byakugan, I can sense that nobody is following me. I think my father is wise enough not to send anyone to retrieve me at the moment. His daughter has never acted like this before. It is best for him to let me calm down before coming back home. Still, why does he act like that? Why does he put his clan's needs over his family's? I ask myself that question all the time, but I can't just straight ask him. I mean, he totally ignored my rant of how shitty of a father he is. He will never answer that question if I asked him. I suppose I already know the answer anyways, sort of. The Hyuga's council plays a huge role in the head's life, but why are they so influential? I guess I can compare our council to our village's council in a way. We need to have other voices of reason in case a leader does something bad. But my clan's council have never been reasonable. I swear I will get to the bottom of this whole mess one day. My body suddenly ricochets to the ground as I smack into something. I hear something fall to the ground followed by 3 gasps. I rub my head in pain as I felt a bruise forming. Great. A bruise and a headache. Just the cherry on top of this wonderful day. I open my eyes and see 3 boys, perhaps around 10 or 11 years of age, staring back at me. They do not look happy. I look on the object on the ground that had fell. It is an ice cream cone. Why does this feel like déjà vu to me? I'm sorry, I mumble as I get up and brush myself off. The boy with a beige bandana wrapped around his head speaks first. You don't sound sorry. You made me drop my ice cream cone. I resist the urge to roll my eyes. I really am sorry, I tell him. I'm just not in the best of moods right now. I can buy you another one to make it up to you. Bandana boy crosses his arms. I don't believe you, I shrug. Well, believe what you want. If you don't accept my apology and offer, then I do not know what else to tell you. Now, I will be on my way. I try to go around the brat, but the other tall boy wearing a red cap with a missing front tooth grabs my arm. You're not going anymore, Toothless tells me as he jerks me back to where I was. I pull away from him. What's your problem? I snap. The other boy with the large eyes widens them to become even larger. Wait, I think she's the Hyuga kid. Wonky Eyes says. Yeah. She has those eyes. Toothless chimes in. I feel like Sai with all these nicknames. I roll my eyes. How specific. There's a lot kids in my clan. All 3 boys glare at me. She must be Niji's cousin, Bandana Boy suggests. She's a smartass like he is. I bet she's cocky like him, too. I bet she thinks she's better than us because of her family and talent. Wonky Eyes growls, scowling. I sigh. Don't you boys have anything better to do than pick on a little girl? I ask. I ran into you. It is my mistake. I apologized. Let's all move on with our lives. The 3 boys look at each other, nod, and come closer as they surround me. Shit. You're not calling the shots. We are. Toothless tells me as he smirks. Before I can respond, the boys all lung towards me and pin me to the ground. I struggle to move, but I fail after a few minutes. I remain still as Bandana Boy lifts me over his shoulder and carries me off. After a few moments of silence, I find myself in a small section of woods right near the academy. That's when it hits me. This is the season where original Hinata gets bullied. Except, this This time they are probably actually going to hurt me since I somehow rubbed them the wrong way. How annoying, I grunt as the boy tosses me to the ground. I quickly jump up as the 3 boys surrounds me again in a tight circle. I don't believe you were truly sorry before for running into me, Bandana Boy announces. We are going to teach you to not be a jerk to us and to apologize like you mean it. He reaches down to pull my hair when I smack his arm out of the way. I glare at him and awaken my Byakugan. I would like to see you try, I tell them through gritted teeth. I whirl around and slam a sidekick into his stomach that sends him flying. I turn to Wonky Eyes and quickly shove a palm into his chest followed by a strike upwards to his chin. He stumbles backwards a few times while Toothless yells a battle call and charges towards me. He throws his fist at me, but I easily dodge it and hit him in multiple spots on his arm. It is now useless. I am about to end him with a roundhouse kick when I see from behind that the other 2 boys were getting up and running after me. Shit. Even though my technique is better than theirs, and I can most likely outsmart them, they are stronger. There is only 1 of me and 3 of them. I can only fight so long before I grow tired. I am about to attempt their impact when a voice distracts of all. Cut it out. I heard Naruto yell as he runs up to us. I sigh in relief. Oh, I'm so glad you're here, I tell him. Naruto gives me a fretful look. Are you alright, Hinata-chan? He asks. I wave my hand. I was totally holding my own before you got here, I say in a teasing manner. Hey! He's that kid! Toothless Boy exclaims. The one that is always getting into trouble. The only everyone hates. Oh, he's that guy, huh? Wonky Eyes replies as they all cackle together. Naruto narrows his eyes. I'm not just that guy. My name is Uzumaki Naruto. I'm going to become Hokage one day. Remember that. The boys widen their eyes. Hokage? They speech in mock unison before laughing at him again. That's crazy. What a bunch of baloney. That's so stupid. Toothless takes a step towards Naruto. There's no way an idiot like you will ever become Hokage, he taunts. I gasp as he raises his fist and punches Naruto twice in the face. The force of the punch knocks Naruto to the ground. I break away from the gang surrounding as I make my way to him and lift him up. He gets up, wipes the blood off his mouth, and smirks. Toothless and his minions tense up as they glare at him. Wanna fight? He asks. Naruto's smirk deepens. Better not regret it, guys. He holds up a single hand sign as the boys take a step back. What signs is he weaving? Bandana Boy asks. Clone. No way. Jutsu. Naruto hollers out. The boys gasp as the smoke appears and I smack my forehead. Naruto's clone appears out of nowhere, and is a total flop. The poor thing has large blank eyes and he wobbles around before finally falling to the ground. I shift my eyes over towards Naruto, and sigh as my bullies give him an odd look. They look at each other and burst into laughter again. I rub my temple. Their cackling is making my headache stronger. That was terrible. Don't make us laugh. Toothless cries as he smacks his legs. Ag! Naruto yells. He tackles Toothless to the ground and grabs his shirt. I caught you off guard. How is that? I will. I'm absolutely gonna become Hokage and prove you all wrong. Stop talking and punch the boy already, I tell him. As his friend, I will not allow for Naruto to learn talking no jutsu. That's how he gets his ass kicked sometimes. Naruto begins punching the kid as the 2 others lunge towards him. Time to put my chakra controlling practice into action. I flow a surge of chakra into my feet as I leap between the 2 bullies and extend my palms out, striking them both in the chest. I dance around and hit them a few more times. I twirl around and give them both a sidekick that sends them flying to the trees. Taking the opportunity, I go over to each boy and strike a few main chakra points to close them. By doing this, they are able to move but cannot attack us anymore. I glance over at Naruto and notice he's having a field day from beating the shit out of Toothless. I guess the boy is truly going to earn his nickname now after Naruto is done with him. Still, I think the kid has learned his lesson by now. I deactivate my Byakugan. I handle the other 2 guys now, Naruto-kun, I inform him. You can stop now. Naruto leans up and scratches the back of his neck. Sorry. I got carried away. He grabs the boy by his shirt again and tosses him aside. I gaze over at the 3 boys' wrecked up bodies. I guess you should have just believed my apology in the first place, I tell them. They all groan in pain as a response. Naruto walks over to my side and shoots me a puzzled look. What are you talking about? He asks. Why were they bothering you in the first place? I accidentally ran into them. I apologized afterwards, but they didn't believe me. So, they presumed to drag me in the middle of the forest to teach me a lesson, I explain. Naruto frowns. That's a stupid reason. I throw my hands up in the air. Tell me about it. It seems to be more of a cowardly reason to me instead of a stupid one, I hear a voice behind me say to us. Naruto and I spin around to see Neji standing there with his arms crossed and his Byakugan on high alert. You 3 better be glad I wasn't here with Hinata-sama. You all would have been in terrible conditions. You all need to be thankful that she has a kind heart. At the sight of Neji, all 3 boys literally jump up and hobble away as fast as possible. Wow, I did not realize you were so scary, Niji and I-san, I say to my cousin. He scowls and ignores my comment. Are you alright? He asks. I nod. I feel great. Naruto-kun, and I just totally showed those boys what we are made of. Never felt better, Niji rolls his eyes. I can tell you're lying. You always put on a fake persona and act silly when you are attempting to cover up negative feelings. I bite my lip as I give him a half smile. You know me so well, wouldn't it make sense for him to if he's your older brother? Naruto asks. And what does he mean by negative feelings? Are you upset, Hinata-chan? If you want to get technical, Niji and I are biologically half-siblings yet cousins at the same time, I explain. The reason being is because our fathers are not only brothers, but identical twins. I hear Niji sigh. I think you lost him, he tells me as I notice Naruto giving me a dull look. Wait, say that again? He asks, cocking his head to the side. I giggle. Never mind, I say. Long story short, I call him that because, even though he's my cousin, I view him as an elder brother. He treats and protects me like a young sister. He has this weird older brother complex over me and I do not. Niji snaps, turning slightly red. I huff. Stop interrupting me. I playfully whine. Naruto looks at the both of us. You're not the only weird one anymore, Hinata-chan. He's weird too. Niji flickers his eyes over towards Naruto. What? Why? He exclaims as he pinches the bridge of his nose. You know what? Never mind. Never mind. I cough to cover up a potential laugh. Anyways, to answer your other question, yes, I am upset. Why are you upset? Naruto asks, frowning. Basically, I got into a heated argument with my father and ran off, I explain, shrugging my shoulders nonchalantly. I do not know why you are acting like it is not a big deal that you disobeyed Hashirama and ran off like you did, Niji scolded. Maybe because it isn't, I snapped back bitterly. And why are you here for anyways? Did my father send you out to spy on me? He's been doing that a lot lately it seems. Niji narrows his eyes. He sent me out here to calm you down and take you back to the compound. He told me I'm the only person that you might listen to over anyone else. Well, I'm not going back until I feel like it, I tell him. I did not expect you to, Niji replies. I arch an eyebrow. Excuse me? I wasn't not expecting that response from him. Why, I do think it was a little extreme of you to run off. I understand why you did, Niji admits, his face softening up. I do not know what you two argued about, but I just want to let you know that I'm on your side. I give my cousin a genuine smile as I grow all warm and fuzzy inside. Thank you, I tell him. I really do appreciate that. He smiles back and is about to say something else, but Naruto loudly interrupts him. I'm on your side too. He sticks his thumb out. Believe it, I would believe it if you knew what was going on, I tease. Naruto pulls at his hair in frustration. Ugh, I'm just so confused as to what is going on. He complains. I laugh as I walk over to him and give him a hug. He calms down as he hugs me back. Just thank you as well, Naruto-kun. You came by my side just now and took some punches for me. I would have been in some deep trouble if you haven't arrived. We both pull away and Naruto rubs his nose with his finger. No problem. That's what friends are for. I arch an eyebrow. How did you know I was here anyways? I ask. I can understand how Niji and I-san did because of the Byakugan. Naruto simply shrugs. I was just wandering around the village when I saw the whole thing occur across the street, he tells me. When I saw them jerks take you away, I knew I had to follow you. I nod. That makes sense, Niji butts in. Not meaning to be rude and disrupt the two of you, but what are you wanting to do now since you do not want to go back to the compound just yet? I instantly grin as I already had this figured out. I look over at Naruto. I just want to help improve Naruto's performance, I say. Naruto give me a blank stare. What do you mean? I am just going to teach you how to not create a clone that isn't a failure. I do not like how no instructor at the academy will help Naruto out. He's obviously struggling, but they still will not do their jobs and properly teach him. If they won't, I will. Niji arches an eyebrow as Naruto widened his eyes. How can you possibly do that? Niji asks. Yeah, you're not an instructor or anything, Naruto adds. I know that, I say. I have been doing my own studying outside of school on chakra control. Wow, it feels weird for me to admit this. And I believe that you are using way too much chakra when you are trying to perform the jutsu. Naruto scratches his cheek. Really? I swear I always use just a little bit of chakra. I cannot wait for the day he learns how to use multi-shadow clone jutsu, and sees how much chakra reserves he has stored inside of him when 1,000 clones surrounds him. I activated my Byakugan. Niji-san, use your Byakugan to see if you know what I'm talking about. Sure, Niji replies as veins begin to bulge around his eyes. Okay, Naruto-kun. Create a clone, I order. You got it. Naruto cheerily says as he weaves some hand signs. I can see a large amount of chakra surging around in the center of his body as he concentrates. He's going to be a difficult person to teach when it comes to chakra control since his sucks. Clone jutsu. As before, another failed clone pops out of a cloud of smoke, slowly falls to the ground, and disappears. I nod. As I suspected, you are using way too much chakra. I can see that too, Niji says. Ugh. I don't understand how. Naruto complains. Hey, it's nothing to worry about, I tell him. You just have a lot of chakra running through your body. More than the average person. Since you are still a child, it is going to be hard to control all of that. How comes no one has ever told you that before? Niji asks. Surely an instructor would have picked up on that fact and teach him how to control it. Naruto sighs. Nobody there wants to even help me. They are barely passing me right now. He looks over at me and wraps his arm around my neck. Hinata-chan is the one that has been tutoring me when I get stuck. Even though I don't understand most of the time, it is better than nothing. Niji looks surprised. Is that true, Hinata? Finally, he's dropping the Sama act. As he gotten older, Niji has not been the type of person to use honorifics regularly unless he's at the compound. Yes, I reply. I'm a very wise person who likes to share their knowledge to other people as a gift. Niji rolls his eyes. Shut up. I turn back to Naruto. Like tutoring, how about we set up a schedule and I will help you learn how to control your chakra? Naruto jumps up and down. That would be great. I want to actually impress everyone in our class for once. Naruto has been one of the first people to actually create a clone, but not a very good one. I mean, he impressed me when he achieved that, but I know that doesn't matter to him. I nod. Awesome. We can talk more about it in class tomorrow during lunch. Naruto gives me a huge grin. That sounds good to me. I look over at Niji. I think I am calm enough to head back to the compound now, I tell him. Even though I do not want to go back, I know I have to sometime. It is better to face the wrath of my father sooner than later. Alright, he replies. I will walk you home. I wave towards Naruto. Thanks again for helping me out earlier. I will see you tomorrow. Naruto waves back. Bye, Hinata-chan and Niji. I hope things work out between you and your father. I sigh. Me too. We head our separate ways as Niji and I head back to the Hyuga compound. How mad was my father when he told you to come look for me? I ask. Niji gives me a sympathetic look. Very. I cringe and nervously laugh at the same times. Great. If I may ask, what were you two arguing about? He asks. He found out that I was hanging around Naruto-kun when I am forbidden to, and he tried to ban me from doing so ever again, I explain. Niji raised an eyebrow. That's it. I raised mine back. Yes, why? From the way he's acting, it sounded more extreme than that, he tells me. With you running off, I just thought it would be something terrible. I also found out that he doesn't trust me enough to let me go out on my own. He has been sending someone to spy on me. I haven't given him any reason to distrust me, so why should I listen to him and not hang around Naruto-kun? He's never done anything to anyone, so he has no reason to order such things. I do not understand, Niji tells me. Why would Hayashi-sama forbid you from hanging out with that boy? From my time with him, he seems fine to me. I heard he can be an annoying troublemaker, but he seems harmless. I huff. It is because it would look bad on our clan if the heiress is caught being around the likes of him. My father acts like he is some sort of king and our clan is a monarchy. I'm the princess who is kept locked away in her room so she won't come in contact with any peasants. Niji gives me a strange look. I do not know what you're rambling about, but I do agree he's taking things too far, and there's nothing I can say to change his mind, I admit. That's why I hope rebelling will. Niji narrows his eyes. I'm glad you have the free will to do such things, he tells me bitterly. I tense up as I give him a sharp look. Seriously? I snap. Niji takes a deep breath. I'm sorry, he tells. Your father just gets underneath my skin sometimes.